British Prime Minister Keir Starmer offering his thoughts on efforts to end the war in Ukraine and what the future might hold.
Writing in the Daily Telegraph, Sir Keir says helping to guarantee Ukraine's security as part of a peace deal would also help protect Europe and the UK. British troops could be deployed alongside soldiers from other European nations along the border between Ukrainian and Russian-held territory. The Prime Minister believes long-term support from the US military will remain critical to any peace process. He plans to discuss that with President Trump when he visits the White House at the end of this month.
And that's the BBC's Joe Pike reporting. The Japanese economy grew at a better-than-expected annual rate, 2.8% October through December, underlined by steady exports and moderate consumption. The Cabinet Office reports in preliminary data the world's fourth-largest economy grew 0.7 on quarter for its third straight quarter of growth. Townhall.com. An 18-year-old male claiming to be a female is charged with plotting a Valentine's Day school shooting.
The focus of the planned attack was Mooresville High School in Indiana. Officers identified the suspect as Trinity Shockley, who claims to be trans and goes by the name Jamie. According to court documents, someone called the Sandy Hook Promises Say Something anonymous reporting system to report that their friend was planning a shooting in Indiana on February 14th. Court documents say Shockley sent multiple messages about his plans to people on the social media platform Discord. Shockley's charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder and 2 counts of intimidation, threat to commit terrorism. A pretrial conference is set for May 19th. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Russia has freed another American, this time a 28-year-old U.S. citizen arrested this month on drug smuggling charges. He's been released, according to Russian media reports, as well as one U.S. official. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Welcome to it.
President's Day.
Yes.
Holiday for many.
Happy day off for plenty.
Yeah.
Post Valentine's Day.
Yeah, wife's off today.
Hopefully,
being a school teacher, no school.
Good morning.
I just figured she came in to run down how you did on your Valentine's Day. Did you do all right?
We went to Red Lobster.
Oh, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm like on Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer. Let's go ahead and check the board.
I think both of us were happy.
Yeah, we spent a bunch of money on a meal. How'd I do?
Heck yeah. There you go. How'd I do, sweetheart? Do I get to sleep in the bed tonight? Woo! Just making sure I'm not couch bound. That's all. I don't know, though. Y'all got some pretty cozy couches. Sometimes I would intentionally mess up just to get kicked out. It's for the lumbar support, you know?
Actually, the couch we have folds out to a bed. So
nice.
You know.
Yeah,
but how comfortable are couch beds?
Not very.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's comfortable if you're a certain size.
Yeah, they're great for kids.
Yeah. Once you get above 5 foot, I don't know if they're comfortable anymore.
So they still be comfortable for me, huh?
Yeah, you just slip under the bar there.
But if you guys ever do decide to relocate, your place would make a fantastic Airbnb.
Good.
Like with the layout of it, with all the extra rooms that you guys have.
Except
We
it's an
wouldn't be
HOA.
allowed to do
It's
that.
an
Oh,
HOA.
it's
They
in
get all
your HOA?
salty about that.
You can't even rent.
Really? You
Yeah.
can't sublet?
No. They when we first moved in, there was a couple that were grandfathered in that were renters, but I think they've pretty much all just disappeared since we've been there. But I don't know. Yeah, they would be salty about that one.
But if it wasn't one of the rules, it sure would be.
I mean, it's just
it has
from
a pool.
thinking of the
amenities.
layout. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Based
Neighbors
on
are quiet.
the 2 Airbnbs that I've ever stayed in. I mean, y'all's place is.
I've never stayed in an Airbnb.
It's an interesting situation because, I mean, it's very much like a hotel, but you're also in somebody's house, so you very much feel like you're, okay. The one we stayed at in Denver, it was a really interesting layout because the entrance was in the back of the house, but it wasn't like an entrance into the house. It was a staircase that led downstairs to a second floor underground.
Okay.
So it was a completely
So it
different,
was like separate from the
and it was all
main-
set up with all the bedrooms, and there were like 4 or 5 different bedrooms. But it would have been a full house had they not decided to rent it out. But it's weird because when you're leaving for your activities,
that's like you have to go through the main.
You're walking around the back into somebody else's front yard, and you're like interacting with the people who who you're renting from or their kids.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting situation, but it works.
That's my whole issue with it is I'm living in someone's house. And then, I mean, like if you're staying at friends and relatives, that's one thing.
Right.
But when it's like total strangers, and I don't know.
Well, what about the Outer Banks? That was like an Airbnb.
Yeah, that was
the closest.
But those houses really aren't lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are pretty much rental houses.
Well, and for the most part,
they just use those to rent. I think the family may stay in it a week or two or a couple weeks, but generally speaking, that's not their main residence.
Right.
That's
for the most part, if you have an Airbnb, that is like for the business purpose. You don't really usually stay in there except for as a vacation, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or like maybe using your own property, like a timeshare kind of.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they reserve that space at least as a business, so they don't really use it.
Gotcha.
So it is. You're not really using somebody else's stuff. At least not somebody else's used stuff.
Right. But I don't know. Sometimes, I guess the reason why I think that is because all I ever see are the B&B horror stories on X.
Right.
And it's looks like someone's hostel that they find cameras in places and just stuff like that. I'm like, no, I don't want to avoid that.
And you come from the generation of people that lived through things like the voyeur, or
and they're doing all those weird hacks in hotel rooms to see if they're being spied on or tampered with, and it's just like, wow.
When you see,
I'm never traveling again. I'm gonna just take a tent.
That's why. Honestly, if you're a germaphobe, either go ahead and just invest in a really good blacklight, or just stay at home.
It's not the germ thing so much. Except for bed bugs. For some reason, those things scare the nightmare out of me.
Yeah.
That's like a big fear. I bring home bed bugs.
Getting eaten up by bugs is not very.
It's like
enticing.
It's like a top 5 fear.
What, you guys don't burn your clothes the day after staying in a hotel? I thought that's what we all did.
But I don't know. I just the spy stuff's creepy.
Yeah,
that's what, because people are creepy.
That's true. There is a lot more potential for something like that to happen in an Airbnb.
Yeah,
but
I feel like part of me thinks that a person might be doing that.
But honestly, if that's what they want from me,
live
a little, man. I'm probably out on the dark web in some capacity, exposing something.
Right.
Heck, for all I, what, I've sleepwalked before. For all I know, there could be images on the dark web that I regret. But honestly, if that's what they want, go for it.
I don't know.
I don't really think that I'm that desirable that people would want to use a camera on me. So if you want to, go nuts. Heck.
I'm just thinking one day something's going to happen. That'd blow up my face.
With what they can do with deepfakes and AI now, if somebody wanted to do something to you, they don't need grainy camera footage from an Airbnb.
Sure. That's true. Of course, I may have done it already myself.
Yeah, how many hours of footage is there of
that's unedited
of you consuming God knows what, quail eggs and
speaking of which, I got a couple sitting right here.
Still have
You ever try one, sweetie?
I will not.
they're really not bad. They're really good.
I recommend the darker of the
Yeah, the dark
first one.
dark web. The dark
I'm
eggs
good.
are
They're quite tasty.
really. With egg prices the way they are right now, you're going to turn down an egg in this economy.
In this
I
trying
am,
time.
yes.
Well, I guess we're not all hoity-toity like Kim over here. Do you drink with your pinky up?
I will not do quail eggs. I did that at a Brazilian restaurant one time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
Like
nastiest
fresh, like in a
It was
dish.
like a salad bar.
Oh, okay. So like hard boiled still. Okay.
Yeah, it was nasty.
I am very curious to try fresh quail eggs in a dish because like the way I've seen it, it basically is like a chicken egg. I mean, just very small.
Right.
So I feel like you can get really creative with it and like make little egg omelets.
Make like those
Tiny omelets,
those little
yeah.
tiny breakfast plates.
Right. I made you a 3 quail egg omelet. Here you go.
Like that what you serve at your doll party.
Yeah. Well, who told you about this? Was it Roy? I'm never telling him anything. Not ever again.
Yes. But yeah.
Now look at him and say, "Oh, what a lovely tea party."
Pot-bellied pigs and quail eggs.
I just like things fancy, okay? That's all. And they're called action figures, by the way.
Somebody make tiny toast. Melba toast. We got Melba toast with it.
It is odd having action figures in your office. When my son comes into play, he'll play with like the extra hands that come with them.
Yeah.
So now I just have like tiny hands.
At least you let your
hanging out
child play with them.
Well, yeah, that's what they're toys. I mean, that's what they're for.
I'm guarantee the collectors aren't going to be letting your kids go grab one of them off the shelf and start throwing it around the room.
Yeah, no. I break the cardinal rule of most collectors because I take stuff out of the box. Do you have any idea how angry Funko Pop collectors get at me?
Yeah.
I have some seriously valuable Funko Pops that I just took out of the box. People are mad at me in the collector world.
Oh, well.
Steve Carell from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Oh, he'd be just.
Is that a valuable
livid.
one?
Huh?
Is that a valuable one?
No, just
Remember his collection?
He had his walls.
Oh!
lined with
I was thinking of Steve Carell 40-Year-Old Virgin Funko Pop.
they make reference to it as how do you not play with those toys? It's like
right.
I know the value. I do too, but I still want to play with my toys.
Well, that was a whole episode of Big Bang Theory too, where there was
Right.
like a Star Trek transporter collectible. It was still in the box, and they wanted to play with it and broke it and the whole thing.
So why you buy it too?
Pull back the curtain, I'd be 100 probably 100 air had I kept some of my Star Wars toys. But,
a whole 100 air.
Well,
yeah, it would have paid for some concerts, maybe a vacation.
Like I had some cool ones, like I had the Death Star, and I think on eBay now it's like mint in box is probably about $500 or something.
Nice.
So like I'm saying, I ain't gonna be like Richie Rich over here.
I pointed it out to Mike over the holidays, but there's a company called VAT19 that just kind of makes random novelty products. One of the things they put out over the holidays was a exact replica of the Evel Knievel stunt cycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with like
which I had as a kid.
And that's why I pointed out with like the wind up thing and then the launcher, and it was rigged to go even faster than the original. So I'm like, I for like this was this close to getting him that for Christmas. It might actually pop up next holiday season.
Yeah, I had that as a kid. I had it came with the red launcher and the Evel Knievel and the bike and you cranked it up and in the commercial that thing would go for miles. In real life it'd go about 3 feet and fall over.
Yeah.
But then again, I was a little young to have that. Like I was still in the playpen when I had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my grandmother's boyfriend, who I called Uncle Buck, who was also a raging alcoholic.
Well, you don't go by Buck without putting down a few. People don't know you as Buck unless you tip them back.
Would always bring me toys every time he came to visit, and I don't think he understood the concept that I was like 3. So he would just, whatever's cool.
Right.
Like, and of course, the Knievel thing was so.
Here, kid.
So I remember in the
Atari.
playpen with the evil Knievel, but I was entirely too young to be having That's how I remember it, because I remember finally being out of the playpen with it and only getting to go like 3 feet. But like in the playpen, I couldn't do a dang thing with it.
That's kind of gross. Actually, if you really pull back and think about it, Uncle Buck was breaking off Grandma.
Oh, I know. But this isn't from my perspective. This was the 70s.
I know,
it was a different time.
I know. Things were different back then. We just pop on an episode of HR Puff and stuff. And
I lived in a family that at noon o'clock, the beers cracked open, and that's how the day got going.
There you go.
My Uncle Jim, my Aunt Lori lived in the basement. Or no, Uncle Jim lived in the basement. My Aunt Lori lived in the room down the hall. My mom didn't even live there.
Wow.
She lived somewhere else. My grandmother lived in the house, and then I lived in the other.
If you'd have been 45 miles south of where you grew up, this would be a country song right now.
I'm telling you, I've got my whole life is different.
So you lived at your grandma's and your mom didn't live there?
Not at first. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she lived next door.
Well, why didn't you live?
Because my neighbors didn't want me there, probably. I'm a crying baby.
Right.
My grandmother wasn't going to let me live over there.
Look, I love my children, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But I really look forward to the weeks there at Mom's house. I'm just saying,
that.
having some free time is kind of nice. And if your mom could have maximized as much of that as possible, you know, Grandma was willing.
Well, there was a whole thing around that too. That's another story for another time.
No, we've got a guest. We can't go down that therapy rabbit hole.
Well, then we're
Not
gonna
down that rabbit hole.
We're gonna go from Jerry Springer to Dr. Phil real quick.
There you go. Maybe working a little Steve Wilkos in there.
That's right. Pause for a little Sally Jesse Raphael in the middle. Is she still with us?
I was just wondering. I think she is, because I see her pop up on stuff every now and again.
I know she kind of had a lot of surgery and looked really not like just.
I'll tell you what. I'll check on the life status of Sally Jesse Raphael. You give us the rundown.
Sally Jesse Raphael. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you here. We're going to have Trent Bates and Tracy De La Rosa join us talking some long-term flood relief with Rhodes Company here in just a few minutes. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 or so, Don Weld going to join us with the Alzheimer's Association, give us an update on some of the things they've got going on there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with Ray Baca talking Golden Gloves. They got the junior championships for. They're doing states here in Roswell, but they're also going to be doing the regionals here in Roswell in April too. So
nice.
And then from there, I think they go to nationals. So we talk a little bit about that with Ray. So we'll play that for you in the 9 o'clock hour.
So she is still with us.
Good.
And I think she really leaned into her glasses being her look, because wow, like they went from being red to really red. But the story behind them, come to find out, I was just kind of reading, is Raphael had a difficulty reading the teleprompter, and with 5 minutes before airtime, she ran to the store across the street from the studio, bought a pair of reading glasses. The only one she could find was a red pair. And that's why she wears the iconic red glasses.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It worked for her.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. But now you're kind of stuck.
Yeah. You kind of pigeonholed yourself into a look.
The glasses are blue. So, all right, it is 7:21. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mix of sunshine and clouds today, and pretty windy ahead of a cold front that's on the way in. Wind gusting at around 30 miles an hour at times, but warm will be in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, mid 30s to mid 40s and a few clouds. We're in the low 60s for the high on Tuesday, and a little bit more cloud cover and breezy. Cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, sunny and upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 31 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 67%. Winds are calm at the moment. We are looking at a warm day, according to the weather report. I don't know if I believe it, but maybe. Partly cloudy. Expect a high of 70 today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 35 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Tuesday, partly cloudy and 57. So we're going to go from 70 today to dropping into the upper 50s tomorrow. Winds out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 18. Yeah, going to be chilly Tuesday night. Northeast winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and a high of 45. Chile. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, going to be really cold. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 13. Yeah, we're getting almost down to single digits. And then Thursday, we're only warming up to 40 for a high under mostly sunny skies. For Thursday night, another chilly night with an overnight low of 16 under mostly clear skies. Friday, 43 for a high under mostly sunny skies. And then Friday night will at least be in the 20s, 21 for an overnight low. And then looking at the weekend, we do warm up to more pleasant temps. Sunny and 61 for Saturday and sunny and 74 for Sunday. But beginning really Tuesday, and then it gets really cold for Wednesday, Thursday there, and then those overnights too. So I'm going to guess folks like Food Not Bombs and Many Hands and some of the homeless work that's going on out there could really use your help this week, especially if we're getting 12 and 16 overnight temp lows there. All right, 7:24. We're going to take actually, we got to do your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten, quick break, and then we'll talk with Trent and Tracy talking about some long-term flood relief. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good big February run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native weaned calves, light yearlings. We expect to sell 1,850 head, breaking down like this: 9 Charolais breeding bulls, 125 wave cows, 80 to 90 wave bulls and big older steers, 125 pairs of bred cows, 1,550 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 9 Charolais breeding bulls, reputation quality, Mr. Bill Sims, Hobbs, New Mexico. They are Charolais, 15 months old, trick and fertility tested. 37 bred cows, Bruton Ranch, San Antonio, New Mexico. Good quality Charolais crossbred bred cows bred to Charolais bulls, cows 2 to 9 years old. 8 bred cows, Mr. Nathaniel Inns, Balmoral, Texas. Excellent quality black white face Angus cows bred to Angus bulls, 5 to 7 years old. 15 to 20 Corriente cross cows bred to black bulls, cows 5 to 9 years old. 157 yearlings, Mr. Don Studdard here at Roswell. Quality black white face, red white face Charolais crossbreds. The cattle wean 120 plus days, 2 rounds of shots right off of some short wheat, 550, 850 pounds. 222 calves and light yearlings, Cole Studdard here at Roswell. Good to excellent quality Angus, Brangus, Charolais crosses, cattle wean 100 plus days, 2 rounds of shots right off the wheat, 500, 800 pounds, 45 calves, Studdard Limited here at Roswell. Excellent quality black Angus calves, cattle wean 60 days, 2 rounds of shots right off wheat pasture, 400, 550 pounds. 104 calves and yearlings, Wes and Carla Bruton, San Antonio, New Mexico. Good quality Charolais crossbreds, thin to medium condition, 1 round of shots, 400, 800 pounds. 157 calves, Barrow Cattle Company, Andrews, Texas. Good quality black white face, red white face, thin condition. Cattle are light, weaned 30 days, 2 rounds of shots, 300, 400 pounds. 55 light yearlings, Mr. Nathaniel Inns, Balmoral, Texas. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbreds. Cattle weaned 60 days, 2 rounds of shots, 600, 800 pounds. 49 steers, Mr. Randy Smith at Carlsbad. Excellent quality black Angus steers. Cattle weaned 90 plus days, 1 round of shots, 475, 650 pounds. 50 steers, Benny Tribold, Seminole, Texas. Excellent quality black Angus steers, weaned 90 days, 1 round of shots, 500, 750 pounds. 38 heifer calves, Marley and Marley here north of Roswell. Excellent quality black white face Angus crossbred heifer calves, cattle weaned 60 days, thin to medium condition, 400, 550 pounds. And 90 calves, the Kelly Ranch, Magdalena, New Mexico. Excellent quality black white face, red white face, and Hereford English crossbred calves, cattle weaned 90 days, 1 round of shots, thin condition, 375, 475 pounds. Sale time this morning be 9 o'clock. Sell pairs bred cows 10. Be selling calves in yearlings about 10:30 to 10:45. Don't forget the 34th annual Roswell Bring Us Bull and Female Sale coming up this Saturday. Sale time 11 a.m. We expect to sell 1,850 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Trent Bates and Tracy De La Rosa. Almost said Tracy Bates and Trent.
Starting rumors.
It's Monday morning. From Rhodes Company joining us this morning. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we kind of talking help with folks here. You know, obviously, Roswell's kind of in the last year kind of seen it all here with, you know, from flooding in Ruidosa to fires in Ruidosa to flooding here and just all this kind of stuff. And obviously we've kind of hit that point with the flood relief stuff where the FEMAs have come and gone and, you know, you're not seeing as many charity groups doing their things, you know, that those resources are starting to move on to the next disaster now. But that doesn't mean people aren't sitting there with a bag of problems right now. So, and that's where you guys are offering some help out there for folks and saying, hey, you know, we might be able to. Anytime, you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to us, you know, taking care of things, at the end of the day, we got to do it ourselves. And this is kind of what we're talking about.
And, you know, we've kind of been preparing for this since the flood. I've been involved with a group over at Chavez County Health, and Casa Kids started a meeting every single Friday since the flood, and we've gotten together there 12 o'clock on Friday if you ever want to go. And we've been working with FEMA and DHS to kind of build a long-term recovery group.
Gotcha.
And so they have given us guidelines that they've used everywhere else to build this long-term recovery, because what they've been telling us is, you know, we have support and we can get you to this point.
But you guys are the conduit, basically. So they're saying, hey, we can still tap into FEMA, we can still tap into this, but you guys are going to be that straw that connects the people to those resources. We can't do that anymore.
And like you said, there's so many resources out there, charity groups and, you know, businesses that are ready to jump in. And that's why I've had Rhodes involved in this, is because they've done such a great job of bringing what they have to people. We just need.
Well, this is their business. They go in and fix roofs and do and you know, hopefully it's to replace ones or put new ones on. But sometimes
they do plumbing and heating. So they were mucking out houses. I mean, Trent knows more about what they did than when I do. But they also had convoys of supplies coming in. You know,
okay, gotcha.
They were there at Rhodes Company. I don't know how many trucks you guys got.
Yeah, we're a corporate sponsor with Convoy of Hope. So we've been with them for a few years now, and so it just kind of went hand in hand when this disaster happened that we would get a hold of Convoy and team up with them. And I believe we brought in 2 semi-truckloads of supplies.
Yeah, I remember during that time we were you kind of see them online, kind of come in. It's like, oh, look, what's the yes, I remember that.
And then we have luckily the staff to help out and volunteer, and so we unloaded those trucks and then started kind of a distribution channel of getting them around town to
Gotcha.
those people in need.
And so now it's kind of like you said, we've got those immediate needs, but that's kind of stuff shifted. We're, people, to be honest, that kind of stuff is taken care of now.
The emergency is over.
Yeah, the immediate needs,
but
people,
that doesn't mean there's still not a lot that needs to be addressed
people
really
have
quick.
People need their homes rebuilt.
Yes.
People need their lives put back together. That's the part we're at now. We're, the medical needs, the food and shelter, and those kind of immediate needs are taken care
The
of.
emergency's over.
Yeah, people have homes that are not structurally sound, that need to be structurally sound or made, whether that's demolished and restart over or rehabbed or whatever. But that's the kind of work we're doing now.
It is, and we've got really good guidelines, and we've been able to put together the Community Crisis Coalition is what we're calling it.
Okay.
We've got our board set. We've got a fiscal agent now.
Okay.
So we are working on building committees.
Gotcha.
So we are
So you
here
need volunteers.
to reach out for people. Yes. And I need people from all walks of life. I was just telling Trent we need people that specialize in job management because we have the Mennonites ready to come here and help rebuild, but we need them to come here and not stand around.
You need a direction.
We need a direction. We need people that can help with case management so that when people call, we know where to guide them.
And this is the tricky part of this.
Yes.
It's if we needed a bunch of people to show up with some hammers and saws, that, to be honest, that's sometimes the easy part.
Right.
It's the navigating of
We
the red
need that
tape.
too,
I mean, don't get me wrong,
that's-
that is all needed. But
we need-
navigating
yes.
the system, getting through the red tape, finding where the resources are and bringing them in, how to apply for those, how to grant write or whatever it is.
Right.
There's people that make a living writing grants because it's a very meticulous work to do that. And to get to some of those pools and resources, you've got to have those
the
skill
money's
sets.
there. We just need the people, and I'm not a grant writer. I'm not a builder. But I can organize people. And so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully we can get someone that specializes in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you probably need some lawyer types that can handle the legal side of things. You're going to need your contractors and that type.
Fundraisers. We need door knockers. We need people with hammers. We need everyone to contact us because I will put them to work. I promise.
Absolutely.
We do have a group
Church
right
and
now.
That side we can use. All the above.
We know that like Church on the Move was giving out drywall for a while, and they were setting people up with that. Well, we haven't reached all of their people, so we want to bring what we have to them and bring what they have to us.
That's kind of where you want with a coalition, especially when you're dealing with widespread needs like this. Whereas it's a lot better to try to get, instead of 27 people doing 27 different things, let's get all of us on the same page, and therefore you can funnel it into one thing, into one. So rather than, we fight each other to help the same thing and fight to help it, let's all
and we
work
don't
in
want
concert
two people
here.
getting
Let's not
drywall when one of
overkill.
them needs a new washer.
Yeah.
There's
We got 37 beds over here, but we only got 10 people who need beds. But we really need this over here. Let's coordinate this or whatever. That's what a coalition works. And so we would love for folks. And so if there's people already out there doing these things, we'd love for you to come.
And we have a lot of contact around town with everybody that's been kind of working.
Sure.
We want them to come back to us and let them know. We are organizing. We do have something going on still.
Sure.
I know right now till the end of the month there's a cleanup effort being done by DHS. They want everybody to leave their stuff curbside. They can also come and help with other types of cleanup. If we heard that there were 30-something houses that still needed to be mucked out. I hope that's not true, but if that is the case, get a hold of us and we will help. Put that together.
Let's get the ball rolling on getting that.
Let's get it finished. And that's what this is about. FEMA let us know that most places at this point in time, Roswell is a little bit ahead of the game. So we like to hear that.
Well, and this is the thing I try to tell people with FEMA and all that, because, you hear the stories and you hear, oh my gosh, and this and that. And I'm like, did you go to the actual resource center in the mall when they were here and talk to them? Because this is the thing about government workers. And this is all government workers. And because my dad, my mom, I know all this world. I know how they work. Government and government workers speak a certain language. Government workers know exactly what it is that you're trying to do. but you've got to tell them in a certain way to get in that way. And when you go to that resource center, that's what I was trying to tell you. Look, they're going to turn over every rock for money, but you got to say the right words. Right. And they literally feed it to you. It's like, well, sir, do you have a flooding due to this and that? Yes, it is. Oh, then we can apply for this. And so they really, that's what they do is if you just walk up and say, I need flood, then they're going to tell you no. But when you say, but if you say it this way, then we can offer you that. You can call it weird. You can call it, you're right. It's semantical, but this is how our government operates. It's all buzzwords. And if you apply this way, then the world's your oyster. And those people were Sherpas to navigate you through that stuff. Yep. So that's why and they can still do that. But now we're kind of working through the coalitions like you to get to that. But,
and they've been here every step of the way. So all I can speak to is my experience with FEMA.
But I just know how government works in that way.
And they've really impressed upon us is tell people to come in person.
Yes.
And it makes a
big
difference.
This is why.
Because they can really show you. You know, paperwork is a lot easier
it's like
when
if
you're
you ask
looking
for it
at
this way, then I can get you this. But if you ask for it this way, I can only get you this. Yeah. So ask for it this way. That's what they're trying to tell you.
Don't turn anything away. Yes. Don't turn any kind of help away. Please accept this help.
Yeah.
We want people to receive that, and that's what we want to help navigate them through. And whenever, at the end of the day, if we don't get everything covered, then we have private donations, hopefully in place that will help finish the
job. And that's kind of where where FEMA leaves off.
Privately, we can pick it up because we have a lot of people out there ready to write checks for us. They just don't know that it's going to go to a rebuild.
And that's kind of also, too, is I think we've got entities that are trying to do the same thing, but maybe are in different phases. And so let's coordinate efforts.
Right.
Let's see if we can maybe pool it where many hands make less work for everyone on this situation, or something like that, rather than have 12 entities do the 12 things and kind of getting each other way doing it. Yep. Or none of us getting where we want to because all of us are missing a key factor to get it done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of... So where are you at as far as like meetings? Do you have regular meetings? Or
we are having regular meetings. Like I said, we usually meet Friday at noon.
Okay.
And we meet at the Casa building. They've been very generous and let us use their building.
Okay.
Everybody's been a
Maybe
lot
if you
of
get lucky,
help.
the dogs are hanging out and you can roll around the floor.
It happens all the time. It's one of the perks.
Little self-therapy while you're
So in the next week, we'll be reaching out to everyone. You can contact me. My cell phone's out there, 575-420-2353.
Yeah.
You can contact the Health Council at 211. They can give you more information.
Absolutely. 211's a catch-all for all this kind of thing.
It is. Yeah. It really is. We've got information.
And Carrie and them are very well versed on what you guys are working on. Yeah.
They're kind rock of stars.
Part of the process.
Yeah, they're the whole thing.
Yeah.
My goodness. So we've got these interest forms. We want, if you're interested in committees, we want people to fill those out. We'll make those available.
Kind of talk a little bit. I don't know, Trent. Maybe this your area. Talk about some of these kind of committees you're trying to put together and. Like as far as like volunteers, what is there certain areas that you're really lacking right now? Like, is it the legal side? Is it the material? All of the above. I mean,
all of the above.
I mean, yeah, kind of like is there a priority? Like right now, we really need lawyers. Right now, we really need.
We're actually lucky enough to have a lawyer working on our 501(c). That was the big challenge. We've got a fiscal agent who has donated their 501(c) to us for now, so we can take money
kind of umbrella
right now.
it in, so you can start that process and get the tax benefits that come with it.
Yes, exactly. We want to make it appealing to everyone.
Well,
we're all volunteer. We don't get paid. We're not making any money.
This is all grassroots people,
this is it.
And it's really being that conduit, being
and the local businesses. That's what
a road
really,
and various other companies.
We kind of all have our own specialties, and so if we can all pool our resources and knowledge,
we're the plumbers. We'll bring in the electricians and bring in the carpenters, bring in the whatever.
Yeah, because you don't want me plumbing. It's not. No. Other stuff maybe, but not.
I don't know. I'm not much safer in the electrical world either. I think I can do less damage in the plumbing. It'll stink, but it won't kill nobody. And
that's what we want. You you can bring people together. You can talk to people, and we have case management. We have spiritual committees.
Excellent.
So that we're going to have, people that are support for other people.
Well, and that's just it too. It's not all physical needs. Some of it's the emotional, the mental,
paperwork,
the spiritual, getting the mind right. Because and to be honest, I would argue the more important. You got to get that side, because without that side working, the other side don't matter. It really doesn't. But one begats the other.
And this was a lot. Like you said, Roswell took on a lot. And the good thing about this coalition and what FEMA has told us, we have a lot of examples, like I said, from all over the country. Fulton County in Kentucky and a couple of other places have put together a really strong set of bylaws, and they've turned this into a long-term for the next disaster.
Gotcha.
So that when 5,000 people come down the mountain from Ruidoso, we're ready.
Well, and let's face it, we're not New York City.
Right.
We're a rural community for the most part. We live in a harsh environment.
Yep.
Things happen. It's not a question of if, it's when. I mean, it's going to be, when the next flood happens, when the next storm happens, when
we
the
don't
next
have the
something
big
happens.
resources, so we're lucky to have companies that can jump in with trucks and equipment and men and all these things, and kind of do it ourselves.
So the goal is to make this a long term. So long when everybody's good on the flood stuff, we're there. We can start building it and start building a pool, start building a resource, have a and it could even expand from there, where you can say, okay, now that we've got this thing triage, where can we create a foundation for what's next?
This isn't Roswell. This is actually, we've written the bylaws for Chavez County.
Excellent.
So
well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, we're all one
Dexter,
community.
I think there were 300 homes.
Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, all these areas were impacted just as badly.
So we want the people from there to be part of these committees, to represent and have a voice to whenever the resources go out.
And to be honest, some of their needs are even greater, because, I mean, Dexter seems to get a bad storm. Like every time Roswell gets one, Dexter seems to get 2 or 3 in between. You know what I mean? It's just.
And they're so spread out,
because
we don't think about the people in Midway and in between,
We just think those are those storms out in the middle of the sand that nobody lives in. And no.
There's people
There's some people out there.
There were people that were stranded for a while. Yeah. And we want to reach everybody, so we want people from all over the valley.
I could even envision it as it turns into that triage center, kind of like, I know with the homeless coalition, things like that, they're trying to start like a nest. That's their end game, or a place where you can house and hope, but also I feel like this could start that for these kind of things. So when the next flooding or winter storm Goliath hits, or whatever that is, there's a pool of money, but not only that, there's a pool, whether it's a triage center that we've got trailers or things we can distribute supplies in that sits in a warehouse somewhere, or it's a caseworkers that are on standby, whatever that
or
vision
if I need
is.
1,000 sandwiches, I know I can call the Valley Cafe down.
Exactly.
I know,
turn loose to our restaurants or whoever those places are.
And that's the goal. Hopefully it goes long term. I want to get this flood taken care of. That's our priority.
But for folks that would like to volunteer, please reach out.
Please reach out. Contact 211.
211, the best way. I know on Facebook, I'm sure you can contact Roads Company directly here. Sure. I know Tracy's got just Tracy De La Rosa on Facebook. You can find her and reach out to her directly on that too. Like I said, reach out to 211. Carrie Moore and the folks over Health Council can help out here. And then certainly if you're in need still, if you're like, hey, I just heard about these.
Yes.
I kind of missed some of the FEMA stuff. Maybe I can still catch. Reach out. Let's see where we can plug in right now to do some of that stuff too. Please. What's the number of our roads if people want to call over there?
It's 622-4977.
Yeah, of course. And if you got, you're sitting waist deep in some other things too, we can help you out.
I think what people may not realize is even though you don't see standing water anymore, a lot of these folks are still not back in their homes.
Well, and that's just it too. It's the flooding may be gone, but it's what the flooding left behind, or what internal damage it did. Right. Standing water is not good for structures. It's not good for the integrity of the structures. And just because it looks like it's gone, that wood or that material could be goo, and it could not be doing what it's supposed to do, or your foundation could be cracked because water is pressure. Water is some of the strongest thing on the planet. It can move mountains, literally.
Well, we saw.
We see it. And so you think your house is going to be a problem? No, it can, and that's where we're at now. People are finding it may look all right, but when you get a fine-tooth comb through there, it's like, no, this is a death trap waiting to happen, and you can't have people living in those. And unfortunately, we do.
We do.
I'm going to say hundreds of homes in this community that probably have people have no business living in right now.
And we have people that want to help. I mean,
and that's
so.
And the sad part is that may be all right until it isn't. Until a windstorm hits or some freak thing that probably would have been fine. Now that turns that into another disaster when that freak thing hits and now a whole block of houses are burning because they weren't structurally sound to begin with. And now how much loss of life we're dealing with and how much this is what we're talking about. Just because it looks something when you drive down the street, it doesn't mean just take this. We saw what happened downtown here. And for the most part, you drive up and down it, you're kind of like, it kind of looks, but you notice there's a bunch of workers every day still. They're still laying. They're fixing things that need to be fixed. It's infrastructure. It's things that won't cause this thing to collapse in the, your
drive
home's
one
the same
street off of Main Street and see what it's starting to look like.
Yeah.
And then, I was driving just around town kind of looking, and there's fences down. And so we want to get that all taken care of, get Roswell back to what it was.
Takes a lot of bucks and it takes a lot of bodies to do these things. And so let's pull those resources. Let's work together. We got like we said, the FEMAs and stuff aren't camping in our backyard, but we still have the connection to those resources. We've got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps to connect to those resources. Yep. We would love to be and use this as a guide to prepare us for the next thing. And, use this to set the table to say, lesson learned. Yes. We live in a harsh climate. Harsh weather happens. It's going to kick our butt for every 5-10 years. Something's going to happen.
And the response was tremendous.
Yeah.
The initial response from Roswell was tremendous. Mm-hmm. So I know we can get it done.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. And this is kind of, and this is, and to be honest, this is one of the many lessons we're learning from this, because I'm sure, the flood panel, the committees and the dam work and all, they're learning lessons too on some of this stuff. And we as a committee are learning, it's like, hey, we don't really have much in place in case something like this happens again. What happens when, because let's face it, a couple more of these and we're wiped. I mean, if we got hit with another one of these right now, I'd fair to see how we do right now.
I mean, FEMA, I think FEMA said they've given $18 million, and that's nothing.
As I say, and that's a drop in the bucket. Really is.
That's nothing. 18 million. So, anyway, we're looking at a big recovery. 2 to 3 years is what they say it'll usually take to clean something like that up, and I would like to be going by the springtime.
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, we're Roswell strong. We're ahead of the game, and we got to keep doing what we do, and that's and our core is our people, and that's what's going to make us okay. But we got work to do, people. Excellent. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover? Anything that we got sidebarred on?
No, I don't think so.
Good deal.
Call roads.
Call roads? you're doing a lot of poo.
Anything.
Or don't want to do a lot of poo. Thank you, guys. We very appreciate it. And anything else we can do, let us know. And folks, get out there. And like I said, if nothing else, call 211. They'd be happy to get you more information about everything we just talked about. So good deal. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:51. We need to shut our hole for some news and Chaves County sports update and commercials to pay for lunch, because I like lunch. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Chaves County Courthouse had to be placed on lockdown on Friday after threats by a man over the phone. The sheriff's office says the courthouse went on lockdown at about 9 Friday morning when the court received a call from 41-year-old Jeffrey Diaz of Roswell. The phone call warned of a bomb and other violence. Police also believe Diaz is the same man who made phoned-in threats to Albuquerque Public Schools and Albuquerque City Hall on Friday, as well as other government buildings in Las Cruces and in Texas. Police say a court clerk in Albuquerque recognized Diaz's voice on the phone due to his past dealings there. Eddy County deputies are on the hunt for a copper thief accused of stealing more than $30,000 in copper wiring. This theft actually took place back in October at Ray Westall Operating near General American Road in Loco Hills, east of Carlsbad. That's an area known for its heavy concentration of oil and gas operations. Eddy County Crime Stoppers continues to offer a $15,000 reward for information leading to the person responsible. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
You won't believe some of the tech myths people still fall for. That's why I'm here to clear things up. This week, we're busting the big ones. Today, it's all about your TV. I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software for just $19 a year right now at protectwithkim.com. Here are 3 myths that you need to stop believing. Number 1, streaming in 4K always looks the best. Fact, if your connection isn't fast enough, your stream will buffer or downgrade. Some services compress 4K so much that a sharp 1080p stream will actually look better. Myth number 2, leaving your TV on all the time prevents wear and tear. Fact, nope. Modern TVs are built for power cycling. Keeping it on 24/7 wastes electricity and also shortens its lifespan. Myth number 3, expensive HDMI cables give you better quality. Fact, a cheapo $10 one works just as well as a $100 HDMI cable. Get more tips with my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com.
I hear this a lot. Bob from Chicago wrote me, I thought I was being careful. I got an email from my bank that looked legit. It said that there was suspicious activity, so I logged in to secure my account. A minute later, my money was gone and I was locked out of my account. Wow. Even the most careful people can get caught up by these clever hackers and scammers. That's why you need solid antivirus protection that instantly blocks harmful malware threats and viruses in real time, keeping your personal data and identity safe. Total AV is the award-winning antivirus software that I use and trust, and so do 35 million other people. Now, it could have stopped this from happening. Here's what you need to do. Go to protectwithkim.com right now and get Total AV for just $19 for the first year, covering up to 5 devices, including Windows, Macs, and smartphones. That's protectwithkim.com. Now, don't wait. I want you to go right now. Your security matters. Get protected right now. Go to protectwithkim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mix of sunshine and clouds today and pretty windy ahead of a cold front that's on the way in. Wind gusting at around 30 miles an hour at times, but warm will be in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, mid 30s to mid 40s and a few clouds. We're in the low 60s for the high on Tuesday and a little bit more cloud cover and breezy. Cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, sunny and upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Big victories for Roswell and Goddard boys hoops on Friday night. As we go into the last week of the regular season, Roswell defeated Carlsbad at home 54-43. They'll be at Clovis Friday night at 7 o'clock to finish off the regular season. They're 4-1 in district play. Meanwhile, Goddard is 2-2 in district play after beating Portales 53-48. Isaiah Mestis with 20 points for the Rockets. Goddard will be playing at Lovington Tuesday night. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Other scores from Friday night, not so well for the Chaves County squads. It was Hagerman losing at Texaco 77-50. Dexter got to play at home, but the Demons lost to Tularosa 68-51, and then Ruidoso knocked off NMMI 49-39 at the Colts home gym. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here. At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
The road to your next adventure starts at Roswell Hyundai with a fresh selection of lease vehicles and bonus cash available on all new Hyundais. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash on all 24 and 25 Elantra, or up to $1,250 in bonus cash on all new Santa Fe XRT Limited, or lease the all new 2024 Ioniq 6 for as low as $189 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. And with Hyundai Assurance, you can relax knowing you're protected from whatever comes your way. The road to your next adventure starts at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Tired of living with chronic pain? Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell is here to help.
I couldn't believe it. My knee pain is practically gone after just a few sessions.
Softwave Therapy for Premier Chiropractic uses cutting-edge sound wave technology to target inflammation and stimulate your body's natural healing process. No surgery, no downtime, just real relief.
Now I can finally enjoy life again with no shoulder pain.
Don't let pain hold you back. Discover the power of Softwave Therapy today from Premier Chiropractic in Roswell. Call now for your free consultation at 623-2900 or visit healthyroswell.com. Softwave Therapy from Premier Chiropractic, 1301 North Richardson in Roswell. Restoring life.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomas. Powerful winter storms that raked the south over the weekend left at least 10 people dead, 9 of those fatalities in Kentucky, devastated by severe flooding. And Governor Andy Beshear warns of more bad weather on the way.
Tuesday night into Wednesday night, we're going to have another round of snow that is going to dump at least an inch and maybe up to 6 to 8 inches on parts of Kentucky. That will cause significant disruption and closures, especially depending on where we are in dealing with this flood at that point.
The Rockies and the Northern Plains bracing for a polar vortex expected to usher in life-threatening cold. According to the National Weather Service, temperatures in northeastern Montana predicted to dip as low as 45 degrees below zero. High-level U.S. and Russian officials preparing to lay the groundwork for talks in Saudi Arabia aimed at ending the war in Ukraine.
The U.S. delegation includes Secretary of State Rubio, Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. The upcoming talks are meant to precede a meeting between President Trump and Russian President Putin. Ukrainian leaders have said they were not invited to the meeting. They and officials in other European countries have publicly expressed frustration that U.S. officials are excluding them. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And the Kremlin says the Russia-U.S. talks will take place tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, European leaders have gathered in Paris today. It's an emergency meeting on the Trump administration's Ukraine initiative. They're also discussing increasing European defense spending. Trump administration efforts to cut the size and the cost of government have resulted in thousands of federal workers being laid off, more layoffs expected. And West Texas dealing with the largest outbreak of measles in almost 30 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. I've been thinking, why does it feel like losing weight is harder than ever before?
Here's
With
an
mixed
important
messages, fad
message from
diets,
the
the quick
Diabetes
fix
Solution
injections,
Center. Do you
even
like
magic
pricking your
coffee. I mean,
fingers to
it's
test your
overwhelming.
blood sugar
Most of us
levels?
are exhausted
No one
trying to
does,
fight a
but
battle
it's
they can't
important to
win,
make
right?
remote
Used to
device
feel that
called a
way.
Anymore.
The harder it
it's
gets.
easy to
I want you
use
to do
and
what-
helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Operation in the country, according to Israel's army.
Lebanese state media says it's the deepest strike in the country since a ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel took effect in late November. Footage circulating online shows a car engulfed in flames. The strike occurred near a Lebanese army checkpoint and Sidon's municipal sports stadium. The strike comes a day before the deadline for Israel's full withdrawal from southern Lebanon under the ceasefire agreement that's ended the 14-month war between Israel and Hezbollah. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
China's foreign ministry is taking issue with a revised U.S. government fact sheet that removed a line on American opposition to independence for Taiwan. A ministry spokesman says the U.S. has gravely backpedaled on its position on Taiwan, sending the wrong message to separatist forces on the island. News and analysis at townhall.com. Today is what has become known as President's Day.
The federal holiday is officially Washington's birthday to honor George, and 34 states use his name in some way. However, 19 states use some form of George and/or President's Day. The latter took hold after the holiday became fixed in 1971 on the third Monday in February. Hope you're keeping track of all of this. The result is a jumble of names, dates, and ideas on how to celebrate. Bottom line, celebrate however you wish as we honor those who have led the nation. Jason Walker reporting.
And the holiday means there will be no mail delivery today. The post office is closed. Most, if not all, the banks are closed as well. The stock market has the day off. It will be business as usual tomorrow for the New York Stock Exchange as well as the NASDAQ. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy President's Day.
Yes.
Happy Monday. Holiday
Indeed.
for some.
Yeah, for a few.
No mail, no banking.
No stock exchange.
Nope.
Seems odd that they would halt the market on President's Day of all days. I mean, I know the banks aren't open, but you could trade a stock or two. You know? No reason nobody should make money just because a guy had a birthday 200 years ago.
They're all out buying cars and furniture today.
Yeah. Good reason to have a mattress sale.
That's right. But happy President's Day. Enjoy the day
Indubitably.
off for those enjoying it or getting it.
Did you happen to check out the SNL 50?
I didn't watch it. I did check out some clips this morning.
Mhm.
Like I saw the Adam Sandler song.
Yeah, the song was great.
That was good.
That was a good song.
That was nice.
There was a bit that Andy Samberg did about how basically everybody in the history of SNL suffers from crippling anxiety, and that now, like they said it, like I think John Mulaney said it in the pre-show, and it was kind of crazy. It was an episode of SNL, but they had a whole red carpet to lead up to.
Okay, that's why I didn't know if it was like a, because the clips I saw, it was like, is it like a roast tribute to the thing?
It's a tribute to SNL. Like every single sketch that they did was a callback or a reference to. So like they did the alien invasion one with Kate McKinnon, which has always been one of my favorites.
I don't know. I guess they did a Jeopardy one.
They did a Black Jeopardy, which of course they worked in the Tom Hanks character at the end.
Yeah.
I was told that a feller could make some money around here.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was the Weekend Update bit was great. They did a whole
like a montage of those?
Well, not just they had Bill Murray come on and rank the top 10 best hosts.
Okay.
But first he ranked the best African American host of all time, because there's only ever been one, and it was Michael Che. So he got an honorary mention. But at the bottom of the list, it was funny because he was going on talking about all these things that kind of referenced Colin Jost, and he said Colin Quinn at number 10. But yeah, so that was fun. They did a whole Q&A
Quinn never
thing.
gets respect. He's the Rodney Dangerfield of our time.
He really
gets no respect.
He's I will say underrated as a comedian.
Yeah.
His some of his early stuff is a lot better than some of the stuff he's doing now. But that being said, they did a whole like open audience Q&A just to kind of like one of the questions was, is this just a pathetic excuse to shoehorn in celebrity guest appearances? And they're like, absolutely. Moving on, because it was basically everybody they talked to was, you know, huge.
Sure.
Like they had not Pacino. I'm gonna move on.
De Niro?
De Niro, thank you.
Okay.
They had De Niro ask a question. They had like Nate Bargatze popped up and asked a question. It was a bunch of kind of cool.
Like I
cameos.
saw the Ryan Reynolds bit.
Mhm.
The why'd you hear something?
Yeah.
How you doing? Why'd you hear something? I saw that bit.
That was great. There was a whole thing about.
I wonder if that's going to blow up in court.
Oh, probably.
I feel like that's slightly goes against court. I mean, they didn't say nothing, but
he just hinting.
We
at
all
it.
knew.
They did 3 different musical performances. Actually, I think 4. They opened with.
Oh, I did see the Post Malone and Foo Fighters. I mean, not Foo Fighters. Nirvana
Yeah.
and Post Malone do Teen Spirit. That was
Yeah, and
pretty
that was the concert they had on Friday. I
Okay,
think.
I saw that clip.
But they opened the show with Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon,
Hmm.
which it was pretty funny because he said, Paul Simon says, I performed this song on Saturday Night Live in 1976 with George Harrison. And Sabrina Carpenter said, I wasn't alive then, and neither were my parents, which I thought was, I started the whole time I was sitting there doing the math like, yeah, that kind of makes sense because her parents would be about my age, I would
Yeah.
figure. I was born in the 80s. Yeah, her parents weren't even alive back then. But it did really put some perspective on stuff. Just to
Golly,
kinda like,
now I feel old.
yeah, just the depth and breadth of how many years this show's been on.
Ugh, jeez.
John Mulaney on the red carpet beforehand, he said, I had that voice in my head that was always telling me I wasn't good enough or I wasn't, I couldn't do it.
Uh-huh.
But now it's just Lorne. He's like, I've had that voice my whole life, but now it's just Lorne.
Yeah.
So but it's a really good. If you have Peacock or I think they might replay it maybe at some point, but definitely a fun watch.
Yeah, and and I'll do this as another quick plug. It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched, I highly recommend you watch the movie that
Saturday Night.
Yeah, Saturday Night. It's basically a movie about the first night of the first show of SNL, the very first episode of SNL,
Yep.
putting that on the air that night. It's basically follows that. I think it's 2 hours. I think it picks up about 2 hours before curtain up. And they're literally still building the set.
Yeah.
And everything else is kind of interesting. So it's a good, and I like, to be honest, I thought that movie did a good job most part of the characters. Like, I looked at him like, hey, that's clearly Aykroyd. That's clearly Chevy. That's
I will
clearly,
say,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and most of them were really good. I never really read, and maybe this is just because I only know him from his like interviews and professional things.
Yeah.
Belushi, I never really read as that angry of a person, but he is portrayed as just the most unhappy human being on the planet in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think
just the fact that he turned, like, when they cut to the first...
I'm going to think that's not far from what happened.
When they cut to the first clip and he just goes on and he does the translation thing and he's in character and he's being silly, it's like that's the Belushi. And I know this is me just wanting that to be my Belushi, but...
Well, there's a reason he had a lot of handlers and a lot of...
It's just, that's crazy to think about that he was just such a jerk.
Well, I don't even know if it was jerk. I just think he was...
Like Chevy, you can buy that he was you know...
I don't even know if it was a jerk. I just think part of it was drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And part of it was the environment. I think they kissed his butt. And when they kiss your butt like that, and
well, by that point, Belushi was a known name. Like, he was a big name.
And these people weren't really helping him. They were aiding him.
Yeah.
Like, they were feeding his addiction. They were placating to his narcissistic stupidness. And, you know, do that enough.
When you can afford to surround yourself with yes men, you know, I recommend doing it.
It ended up killing him.
It's great for your self-esteem.
Ended up killing the man in some way, shape, or form. So.
It's not great for your longevity, but, you know.
But anyway, the movie's good.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
On that downer. But the movie's pretty good. It's, and I think the guy that played Lauren did a good job.
I agree.
Like, it was Lauren, but it wasn't the impression of Lauren that everybody does. It's more true to, I think, him.
And it was kind of interesting to see some of those like baller moves that he pulled, like going up and like hiring the entire lighting crew from the show upstairs.
Yeah.
Just little things like that.
Picks up a writer in the bar.
We're like, all right, he kind of has like little bits of now I'm seeing Lauren, like the guy who can take charge of the chaos and make it happen.
How he got it there. Yeah. Well, now he's looking at 50 years of having his butt kissed, and you know, you're seeing that the what comes of that. So anyway. Don Weld is here from the Alzheimer's Association, patiently waiting in the other room to chit-chat. So we're going to talk with him this hour. Also this hour, we'll get you up to date with the weather, local news, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, the weather, which enjoy today, because right in the middle of this week, it's going to be a big ball of stink, and then it'll start getting nice again for the weekend. So here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mix of sunshine and clouds today and pretty windy ahead of a cold front that's on the way in. Wind gusting at around 30 miles an hour at times, but warm will be in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, mid 30s to mid 40s and a few clouds. We're in the low 60s for the high on Tuesday and a little bit more cloud cover and breezy. Cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, sunny and upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 33 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64%. Winds are calm at the moment. Enjoy today. Today's going to be nice. It says mostly cloudy. I give it a partly cloudy at the moment. Looking at a high of 70 today. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. 35 for an overnight low with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, 57 for a high. So we're going to drop almost 15 degrees there. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, it's going to be chilly, mostly clear with an overnight low of 18. Winds will be out of the northeast, 5 to 15 miles per hour. So it'll be a little breezy too. Sunny on Wednesday, but a high of only 45. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. So that's breezy and 45. That sucks. For Wednesday night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 13. Yeah, 13, folks. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 40. Thursday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 16. And then Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 43. And then finally, Friday night and into Saturday, we start to warm up. We'll be in the 20s. Friday night over late low of 21, which is better than 13. Saturday, we're going to look at a high of 61. And then, Lord willing, we'll be back up into the 70s on Sunday, sunny and 74. But, yeah, it's going to get chilly really starting tomorrow, and then by Friday getting downright chilly. And then by the weekend, some respite there. All right, 8:17, we're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break, and then Don Weld will join us wearing his Alzheimer's Association hat this morning. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hey, Roswell, love is in the air, and your friends at Roswell Ford are relationship experts. Really? No, just kidding. But we do have an offer that will take your breath away. Get unprecedented savings during our biggest President's Day sales event ever, this week only at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing. Save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down and 0% APR for 72 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition starting at just $10,000. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand financed on select in-stock vehicles. Trade balance refinanced to new loan, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Shearer Plays Vaughn Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium, featuring Dr. Jim Shearer, professor of tuba at New Mexico State University, in the Vaughn Williams Concerto for Tuba and Orchestra, plus Beethoven's 7th Symphony, along with works by Barber, Sibelius, and Mozart. Get tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Shearer Plays Vaughn Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Sponsored in part by Dr. John and Ms. Deanne Kaysen and the Roswell Lodgers Tax.
So you've got questions about the birds and the bees? What would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben Manette with Roswell Seed Company. If Jim was here, he'd tell you that it's time to order your bees. You'll get a 3-pound box of live bees and a queen, and that's enough to start a hive. As for the birds, we're talking about baby chicks. Not only are they cute as can be, they'll soon be supplying your family with fresh eggs. So come see us at Roswell Seed and find out all about the birds and the bees.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Alzheimer's Association here for, is it Southeast New Mexico? Or
yes,
just,
it is.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was Roswell or Southeast New Mexico.
Well, it's the Roswell Walk.
The Roswell Walk, but for Southeast New Mexico.
For Southeast New Mexico,
But
correct.
Don Weld with us this morning. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Of course, this is most people kind of think, the Alzheimer's Walk, that is the big event that takes place here in our community for Alzheimer's, and that walk to end Alzheimer's usually there in the fall, October, November time frame.
It's November 1st.
November the 1 here. But this is really the time of year where now the fundraising goes on. The walk is kind of the Remembrance Day, the fun day a little bit where we celebrate, that's kind of the big crescendo. Now's where the real work's going, where we're raising the money, where we're forming, we're trying to help families that are in town that are dealing with Alzheimer's. This is kind of the day-to-day work of the Alzheimer's Association.
You got it. Yes. This is our push to get money. We're seeing a lot of progress.
Good.
And we're seeing a lot of positive things coming out. We're still looking for that white flower.
Yeah. That's the thing we get to talk every time we get to come on is there is no cure for this, but we're like on the cusp. It's like
somebody to recover.
It's like there's so much progress. It's like if someone is diagnosed today with Alzheimer's, there's a hope that we can find a cure for that person.
That's right.
Whereas someone like pull back the curtain, your wife you lost your wife to Alzheimer's,
right.
And I would even say the progress is made. Certainly in your time since you've been involved, people are getting longer quality time.
Yes.
Diagnosed with this disease.
Yeah, it's becoming better all the time,
but we're almost to the point where like I feel like the people like this generation that are being diagnosed right now, we could maybe say we can get a cure for these.
Yep.
But
we're looking for it.
We can't stop now. We're at the goal line. We got to keep rallying. We got to keep fundraising. We got to keep, feeding the research so they can come up with, whether it's a vaccination or whatever it is that we can end Alzheimer's.
What's the longest day of the year? June?
I don't know the exact.
22nd.
22nd?
I think that's our summer solstice.
Okay. I'll take your word on that.
Yeah.
Is it 21st or 22nd?
There is we're looking to have a special event on that day, the longest day.
Okay.
To make people aware of Alzheimer's at that time too. So
more to come on that.
More to come. I'll know in another month or so.
Okay.
How that's going to work. But right now, our biggest one is November 1st, and it's the walk.
Yes, go ahead.
It is June 20th, I believe.
June 20th. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. So
we'll look for that. We'll pick on it. But we'll be talking more about that date here in the coming months. Here.
Oh, yes.
But in the meantime, it is not too early to start your teams. It is not too early to start putting together your fundraising and everything for our Walk to End Alzheimer's here on November 1st. If you've participated in that in years past, this past year, it was back on the courthouse lawn. It's kind of normal home, I guess you could say, or right.
Well,
it feels
across
right
the street from where it was.
Yeah.
We did it for years. We did it at the park across the street from the courthouse. Pioneer.
Your Pioneer Plaza. There.
Pioneer Plaza. We used to do it there.
But downtown there is kind of where it belongs.
Yeah,
I think.
it does.
Yeah.
It's more visible, and we get more participation, people seeing it.
People drive by and say, why is everybody wearing purple?
That's right.
And they stop.
Except some of us have to wear
get the
lime green.
The staff shirts.
Yeah, these are for staff.
But now's the time. Like if you'd like to get involved and learn more, there is a Facebook page here that you can kind of see, where to sign up and where to talk. If you'd like to get more involved than just starting teams, I'm sure they can always use more people to serve on the board, to serve in various committees, serve in various things. Just logistics, helping family. Because that's the other thing too, is when families are new to this disease, they're looking for resources. And
it's very confusing at first.
Yes. And the doctors and things can tell you so much, but you learn the real story from the family, the people that have lived this, from the people that have experienced this. And that's where you get, and that's where the Alzheimer's Association comes in.
That's what we're all about.
Not only finding medical resources, but mental health resources and physical resources to help navigate through what the journey is going to be bringing for these folks.
ALZ.org.
Yep.
Everything you want to know or can find out about the disease, you can look up somewhere on ALZ.org.
It's kind of one of those things where some people it's not on your radar or care about it until it happens to you directly or indirectly.
When my wife was first diagnosed, I didn't have a clue. I had no idea where to go, what to look for. The internet was relatively new. This was 2004.
Yeah.
And so
they didn't know. I mean, we've learned so much in the last 20 years about this. I mean, you think of 2000, like we've got all these, and we do. But we're archaic in a lot of world of medicine still.
Yes, we are.
And Alzheimer's is we're catching up.
Yep.
But 2004, it's a different ball game that is in 2025. It just is. And no different than in 1994 was a lot different than 2004.
That's right. When did the internet come up? Was that 90s?
It was in the 90s because I was in the military in the mid 90s, and I remember getting dial-up internet there. So
yeah, that was my first experience. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I had that at Holloman there. So.
Yeah, my first experience was not. We didn't go on the internet. You went to a website,
right?
And you dial into that website.
CompuServe or
what was the other?
Netscape Navigator.
There was something. There was something else.
Yeah,
yeah. But and it was just contained in that one little website. Whatever they had is what you got.
Yeah.
And then they started expanding it. It was
then it got
incredible.
Then it went hog wild. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of information back then.
No,
a lot of knowledge back
That's
then.
right.
And so,
especially about Alzheimer's.
And this is what, and to be honest, I think what's made the difference is the Alzheimer's Association and efforts like that.
That's right.
Where millions of dollars are getting generated every year to focus on the research to figure out what causes this and ultimately how to stop it or how to cure it. And,
that's right.
And who knows what that looks like, whether it's going to be something we can treat people with currently or it's a vaccination we give like polio where you just don't get it. You know, what is it that we do? I don't know. Right. But,
And it doesn't hit everybody, but it's not, it doesn't say that it's just this type of person or that type. Anybody can get it.
Well, it can be hereditary and it cannot be hereditary.
That's right.
It has no set.
It doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
That's
and it doesn't have a set symptom list. It's not like, okay, breast cancer is caused by this, this, and this.
Right.
You can't say that about Alzheimer's.
No.
It's like, well, sometimes it's caused by this, but sometimes it's not. And then sometimes we see evidence it's caused by this, but then sometimes we don't.
That's right.
There's nothing they can finite and say, yeah, you eat carrots, it causes Alzheimer's, or if you do this, they can't say that because there's no.
Who was the Ali, Muhammad Ali?
Mm-hmm.
He got Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
but they attribute that to us getting his head knocked around all the time.
Sure,
but that's not always the case. Some people have never had any kind of head trauma at all, and they still get Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Now we do know that trauma does cause of these things.
Oh yeah,
but that's not a definite either.
No.
But yeah, you do. That's just it. It's so many, and the brain is, I think, the one organ that we know the least about, and all of our organs in the body. I mean, we know
We're
a
learning.
lot about it.
Yeah,
but we don't know enough about it.
That's right. It's getting better, but.
It's like they say we tap into,
tougher.
When we, as far as humans and what actual percentage of our brain we use isn't that, what that means. I don't know. I mean, because in my head, I look at it like, okay, you slice up our brain and we're using 10%, but there's this whole, but it doesn't work that way.
No,
I know that,
it doesn't.
But that's how, I rationalize it when they say
see
stuff
it
like that.
Too.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
weird.
not how it works, And so, but there's just a lot we got to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, It'd be amazing. The brain is an amazing instrument.
Yeah.
It's the original calculator.
Yeah, and we still got to learn. I mean, it's the nerves. It's controlling everything, and
that's right.
And it's just, and that's just it. There's and that's why we talk about dementia, and when we say Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's is really just one disease,
one part of dementia.
But dementia and Parkinson's and all these, they all fall in the same
brain type in
same
category.
Yeah,
something to do with the brain.
Yeah, it's going to, because I had a grandfather that died of Parkinson's, and I've seen that. To be honest, that's almost worse than an Alzheimer's, because the difference there with him was his physical motor skills. Everything was gone there.
Yeah,
but his brain was fine. Like it was like trapped in a prison, where like his brain was sharp. He understood what was going on. He couldn't communicate it. He couldn't,
couldn't make his body move.
Yeah,
or
he was
write,
like
or,
anytime he tried to talk, it was just.
You can see the brilliance in the eyes.
Yeah, he was firing, but he physically didn't have the connection skills to, and that's what Parkinson's does to you eventually.
Yeah.
And so it is, so in some points I'm almost like, I don't want to wish neither on anybody, but what's the worst one here? You having problems with not knowing it, or having problems with knowing it? And I'm kind of like, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish either of those
exactly
on anybody.
But
my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish it on.
But if someone's going to flick me with one or the other, I'm kind of thinking that ignorance is bliss a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's where Parkinson's even gets to you something. But but my point is, this is where the Alzheimer's Association, it's not just Alzheimer's, it is really dementia and all those associated, and by supporting it, you're supporting research towards all of that. So
that's right.
So your Parkinson's folks and things like that, all this research is helping all of these kinds of things, all of those brain related diseases. It's all, because it's really all kind of in the same ballpark. It's different symptoms, different things, but equal problems with the brain there, and so
that's
you're
right.
kind of working in the same neighborhood, so to speak. But we'd love you to support it. Come out. Make obviously
a team.
November 1st.
Get a team together.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Alzheimer's.org and then / Roswell Walk, and it'll bring you into the Roswell Walk page. And on that page, you can find the start a team.
Okay.
On there. Or you can go to my website. That's good too.
There you go. Yeah, you can just contribute to Don's team if you like.
There you go. Join my team. I'd love to have you.
Don will take your money for bragging rights.
That's right.
His team.
You can make donations on there.
Absolutely.
You can start a team.
Yeah.
Even at my website, you'll still get your own team through Alzheimer's.
Gotcha.
The Roswell Walk. But the resource is on my website.
Okay.
My photo finish website, which will allow you to start your team there.
Excellent. So you can start your own team.
Or join mine, whichever you want to do. Or make a donation.
Or just make a straight flat donation. That's fine
right.
too. If you don't want to play all the games and just here's a bunch of money, that'd be good too.
Yeah, and the more we can get, the better.
Well, it does. And here's another thing too. I want to point out too is if there's folks new to this, maybe you just getting the diagnosis or you're dealing with some of this stuff, and I'm going to take a stab. You're getting overwhelmed, and it's a lot to take in. Reach out to the Alzheimer's Association here locally. Let them help you navigate through what your next steps are going to be.
And we will do everything we can to help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is trust. Even if it's just a support group to sit and talk and vent. And because that's, to be honest, your mental health, if you were the caretaker here, your mental health is as vitally important as that of your patient.
That's right.
That is because if you aren't taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of your loved one. It's impossible.
And remember, being the caretaker, you're going to get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to feel really stressed. You're going to need a little time off, a little time away from that person. Yeah. Alzheimer's can help you with that.
They know exactly how you're feeling.
Yep.
They've lived those shoes. and they can help you go through a very difficult process.
We can get you somebody to take care of your loved one.
Yeah.
For a day at a time, and on a regular basis, so that you can get out and just do for you.
Yeah, this is more than just emotional support. This is physical resources. This is things to help you navigate through this process. Because every single volunteer, 9 times out of 10, has probably walked in your shoes. That's why they're there.
That's right.
So please reach out to, go to alz.org or go to the Facebook page here.
And that'll direct you to ALZ.
And I'll even go one better. Go to our American Legion stuff and get a hold of Don through that way.
There you go.
However you get a hold of Don, whether it's through Legion stuff or Friends of the Zoo stuff or ALZ stuff, it don't matter.
if you want to call me direct, that's fine too.
Yeah.
575, it's the area, of course. That's our area. 495-3325.
You don't call yourself very often.
No,
so
you don't.
Know that
You got to think, what's my number?
No, you know what? You have to spell it out. Because the only time we have to know our number is when we have to fill out doctor's forms at this age.
There you go.
So if you write it down, you'll know it, no problem.
There you go. Write it again and again. When I was growing up, we started out with just a basic number. It was 5 numbers, 5 digits. That was it. You didn't have area codes. You didn't have all of this other.
Was it like
stuff.
party line type stuff?
Yeah, it was all pretty much party line.
Yeah.
Then they added a prefix to that. Well, the prefix at first was 2 letters.
Ooh.
So you learned 2 letters, then your number.
Everybody's in the military.
Yeah.
RL Niner 572.
There you go. You got it. That was just about what it was. And I still remember the phone number that we had, and that was 70 years ago.
Nice.
So,
can't call it no more, though.
No, it's not there. Well, it may be, You
could try.
It may be.
I think I'm missing some numbers.
Yeah, you'd have to add the area code and all that stuff.
I'm going to be dumb, but I'm going to assume. Can you still hit 0 and get an operator? Is that like a thing still? Or I'm assuming it is.
Tried it.
I'm assuming it is, but I don't know. I'm assuming you can do that, but
I wonder.
I don't know if they just took it away from us and just didn't tell us one day. Like movie phone?
I don't see a reason.
Like, I don't think there's movie phone anymore. I imagine you can't, call movie phone.
Well, if you just hit 0, it doesn't do anything.
I'm thinking.
Well, at least on the cell phone.
Yeah, well, maybe I have to send.
Yeah.
You hit 0 send?
The service you're attempting to use has been restricted or is unavailable.
So it's on a cell phone, you can't do 0 send.
Yeah.
I bet there's not.
I have no idea. I just never thought about it. Now I got to get on the. That's an internet phone. I don't even know if that'll work. Shit.
Yeah. Who knows?
I have no idea.
Isn't that something?
Someone who's got a house line, hit 0 and see if you get an operator, and leave in our comments whether you got the operator or not.
Yeah.
I never thought about this till just now, and now I'm like, what if I need the operator? Now I feel like
You don't see any jobs hiring for an operator.
I know, but
I doubt it there is.
it's just one of those things I just always thought was there when I needed it. You know?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, it may not be. What's that? Nothing happened. So there's no 0 no more.
You can't call a 0.
We uncovered something. Get me Inside Edition.
Yeah.
Finally went away.
You're going to 2? All right.
I can actually answer this question from a couple of years ago. They got rid of 0 the same time they got rid of 411.
They got rid of 411?
They did.
No more information.
No more 411. It was a big thing that nobody was using it anymore because the internet is a thing.
But what if I don't have the internet?
Yeah, and dialing your operator is no longer a thing unless you have a specific operator that you would dial, like the AT&T customer service line, something that
And that would be a 7-digit number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Attica. This
There
is
you go.
wrong.
Let me go get your metal cup.
This is wrong.
Yeah, it's
Get off my lawn. No.
Well, I mean, admittedly, telephone operator had to be the saddest position that was still available. I mean, you're just sitting in a room waiting for somebody to call.
Bring back zeros and bring back 411.
Yeah.
I do think, and I don't know the number, but I do think there is still a number in Roswell that you can call for time and temperature.
But it's probably a regular number.
It's a 7-digit number, yeah.
Number.
Well, you have to call 7 digits to get the time.
And you have to listen to an ad.
3 digits. Max. 3 digits.
3 digits. Hashtag give me back my digits.
411.
1 ringy dingy. 2 ringy dingy.
It's not like back in the day where they're like, operator, get me Klondike 459. You know, and then there's some lady with a switchboard moving wires around.
I'm legit upset about this. I can't. Not that I want to. I just didn't know that I could.
Old man yells at cloud. When's the last time you used it, though?
It doesn't matter. I just want to know it's there. I just want to know it's there.
That is an addictive personality trait, by the way. It's like I know. I don't want,
my whole family's alcoholics, man. I know I have the gene.
It's like I don't want a drink right now. I just want to know that there are drinks available.
I just want to know the zero's there.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
I just want to know that, hey, maybe on a whim, I want to find out what the phone number is to Dunkin' Donuts in Pengo, Pensacola, Pennsylvania.
Why you got your cell phone?
I don't want the internet. I want to dial 0 and have someone else look it up for me.
It's starting to sound like a whiny baby kind of thing.
Yeah.
Old man yells at cloud.
I want my I don't need Siri. I need 0.
His whole day's ruined now over this.
What have I started here?
I want 0. I don't want Siri. I don't want Alexa. I want an operator.
There you go.
Nothing more than that. This is how we found out.
I know.
Any other myriad other ways we found out.
I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
We're talking about memory problems, and we can't remember where 0 is.
Just want my 0 back.
Just give me back my 0.
Like my Coke. I want my 0. That's a bummer, man. I'm kind of bummed on that one.
He's going to be upset all day.
Well, I know I'm not going to use it, but it's just another sign of, dang it, I'm old. Something that's a staple of my life is just
I hadn't even thought about it until now.
Another staple in my life is
you
gone.
You can't call 0 anymore.
I just want a Kodak photo and to call the operator.
You did not miss it at all.
I want to hit a Kodak photo booth and get my 1-hour photo.
There you go.
I want to go get dial 0 and just find out the phone number for some random thing. The Kodak photo number. Yeah. That's all I want, just to do that. Yeah, come on. We don't have to ask Siri everything.
No.
All right.
That's our memory anymore.
You're right. You're not.
It's going to Siri or your memories in here.
When I was a kid, I knew every one of my friends' phone numbers by heart.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now I can't even remember my own.
Yeah.
I knew their phone numbers. I knew their addresses. I know. Of course, when we were kids, they trained you because there was always the threat of getting thrown in a van when you were a kid.
Yeah.
My age, but
and you can't get second graders these days that know their physical address.
Oh,
or
I know.
phone
You had to
numbers.
know all that stuff, man.
Nah.
Yeah, it's a different time. See, this is what happens when you take away 0.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. You took away our 0, and now nobody knows anything.
411. I don't know. I can't even call 411 to ask where I live.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
But you can still 911.
That's right. That 211, 911, and the 988 numbers. Those are still good.
Yeah.
I just want my 0. I want the warmth that comes from asbestos heating. I want my cherry chang fruit punch. I want all the things that the 1960s gave me.
And lawn darts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Lawn darts are a fine device.
I agree. Me and my friends used to have lawn dart fights.
If you are not smart enough to not get hurt with lawn darts, you're not smart enough to do many things in life.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying is now we know the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Lawn darts are the line.
Back in the day, it was called thinning the herd.
Yes, I'm a big fan of thinning the herd. Thinning the herd is a necessary part of life. I'm not saying, just saying remove the tags, let the stuff work itself out. That's all I'm saying.
Somehow we've been firing Roman candles at each other for generations, and somehow those are still available for
You got to
purchase.
tell people not to blow dry their hair in the tub. Then that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But how else will I get this fullness?
just saying. We got to tell you not to use electrical appliances while sitting in a vat of water. Maybe
That's right.
Maybe that's on you.
Don't toast your toast in the bed.
Just for FYI, I don't know if you knew this was an actual thing, but there is a Hall & Oates hotline.
Oh, I know that.
And it plays.
It's called Call & Oates.
We called it here on the radio show.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
And they play 24/7 their songs.
You just pick. You press 1 for Maneater, press 2 for This Kiss. Or Kisses on Your List.
Yeah, we called it a couple years ago.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? Hall & Oates hotline. In case you need a little emergency Hall & Oates.
It's fun. You can call & Oates.
Call & Oates. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I just happened to be stumbling upon, flipping channels over movies this weekend. And that movie, She's Out of Your League, was on.
Oh, yeah?
And the only reason I mention that is because the part I got was his buddy, who's played by, I can't remember his name now.
The T.J. Miller.
Yeah, him. Has his own Hall & Oates tribute band.
Yes.
But it only plays Hall & Oates from like a certain era. When you request anything outside of that era, they will not play.
That was in they did that same joke, and was it Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, no, Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, that's right. It was the Billy Joel. No, was it Billy Joel?
Yeah, it was Billy Joel.
And he only played 80s Joel.
Yeah. Well, this one was Hall & Oates.
Right.
He's like, no, just Hall in it. But so that's no reason. So now I've had a lot of Hall & Oates. So, you know what? We should start an oatmeal company called Hauling Oats.
Hauling Oats.
Haulin Oats. Hauling
apostrophe Oats.
Hauling Oats.
Hauling Oats.
Yeah, and you name all the flavors after various Hauling Oats songs.
Mike's just trying to come up with ways to get sued now.
I think it'd be good. I mean, I think you could make a thing.
Yeah. Why not?
Kiss a strawberry.
Just a hint of blueberry.
We could do all the songs.
That's right.
Hall & Oates. That's my name.
This is how Mike fights Alzheimer's. He keeps his brain sharp by coming up with new business
there you
ideas.
Go. I think of some things that will make no money nowhere. But if I see Hall & Oates as an oatmeal thing, I want some credit. I want some credibility on it. I want at least a recognition. Someone starts a Hall &
If it's a
Oates.
local company, especially, because I know you was listening.
Yep.
We're on to you.
Especially if it's a delivery oatmeal service.
Delivery oatmeal service.
They deliver oatmeal to your door. Hall & Oates.
You have to, every time you call in an order, you have to go, what I want is 2 strawberries, a blueberry, my hot hand.
What a want thing got me.
Even some oatmeal cookies.
That's right. We could do all of our oats in a bag or in a cookie.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a horse feed company. Hall & Oats.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, this went down the rabbit hole, didn't it?
Oh, they always do.
All right. We got to reel this in.
If I had my phone, I knew more Hall & Oates songs. I'd make a lot more references.
Well, anyway, my point was support the Alzheimer's Association.
And bring back the zero.
You know what? The Alzheimer's needs humor, too.
There you go.
Yeah, humor is the best way to keep your brain fresh and going. And
well, this is it. Laughter and
and it's good for them.
Absolutely.
That was the thing with my wife.
She kind
of she couldn't. It got to a point to where she couldn't talk. She'd lost that ability, but she could laugh, and I could get her to laugh.
And that was the happy.
And you could see the brightness, the eyes light up.
That's when you start seeing your wife again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was in there.
Yeah.
But greatly clouded. So.
Yeah.
Little laughter always helps.
Folks, if you are going through this, reach out. Don't do this alone. Let the Alzheimer's Association help you navigate through this. They've got all kinds of people that have nothing but experience in this.
That's right.
And then please, if you'd like to help out, be on a team. November 1st is the event, but now's the time to start putting those
Got to put your team together. Raise some funds.
Is it alz.org?
alz.org.
Very good. And then go to the
from
Roswell.
there you can Roswell Walk, and then you can work your way down. My portion of that is photo finish. So if you get to Roswell Walk, and then you can look for Roswell or photo finish.
Find it all there.
And you can find it right there.
Excellent.
So,
well, Don, appreciate the visit. We'll actually see you later this week.
You will. I'll see you Wednesday.
Wearing a different hat.
Different hat. We're going to talk about Bitter Lake.
Yes.
And they got some things going on.
Good deal. Well, it's I imagine this is it's kind of because it's still like and the weather's been really weird where it's like hot one minute, now it's gonna be cold again.
Yep.
I imagine that kind of messes with the migratory stuff a little bit.
It does.
I imagine it creates.
And beyond that, we've got governmental problems going on.
Yeah.
So
That's not good.
We might be able to get some information on that.
Okay.
We'll see.
They want the land or the money? What do they want? Usually government problems is about land or money. One of the two. Money. Very good. Well, thank you, Don. And again, folks, alz.org. Please, and if you're a family need, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you got it in your heart to support this, we'd love to have you, because the more we're so close to finding the cure that I feel like, we're looking at this generation of folks that are living today. Maybe they're going to be the ones that get the cure for this.
Over the next hill.
That's right.
That's where it is.
Well, thank you, Don, as always, and we'll see you here next time.
See you Wednesday.
It is 8:52. Let's pause for news and your Chaves County sports update, Red Apple market report, and a few commercials. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Chaves County Courthouse had to be placed on lockdown on Friday after threats by a man over the phone. The sheriff's office says the courthouse went on lockdown at about 9 Friday morning when the court received a call from 41-year-old Jeffrey Diaz of Roswell. The phone call warned of a bomb and other violence. Police also believe Diaz is the same man who made phoned-in threats to Albuquerque Public Schools and Albuquerque City Hall on Friday, as well as other government buildings in Las Cruces and in Texas. Police say a court clerk in Albuquerque recognized Diaz's voice on the phone due to his past dealings there. Eddy County deputies are on the hunt for a copper thief accused of stealing more than $30,000 in copper wiring. This theft actually took place back in October at Ray Westall Operating near General American Road in Loco Hills, east of Carlsbad. That's an area known for its heavy concentration of oil and gas operations. Eddy County Crime Stoppers continues to offer a $15,000 reward for information leading to the person responsible. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Big victories for Roswell and Goddard boys hoops on Friday night. As we go into the last week of the regular season, Roswell defeated Carlsbad at home 54-43. They'll be at Clovis Friday night at 7 o'clock to finish off the regular season. They're 4-1 in district play. Meanwhile, Goddard is 2-2 in district play after beating Portales 53-48. Isaiah Mestis with 20 points for the Rockets. Goddard will be playing at Lovington Tuesday night. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Other scores from Friday night, not so well for the Chaves County squads. It was Hagerman losing at Texaco 77-50. Dexter got to play at home, but the Demons lost to Tularosa 68-51, and then Ruidoso knocked off NMMI 49-39 at the Colts home gym. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mix of sunshine and clouds today, and pretty windy ahead of a cold front that's on the way in. Wind gusting at around 30 miles an hour at times, but warm will be in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, mid-30s to mid-40s and a few clouds. We're in the low 60s for the high on Tuesday, and a little bit more cloud cover and breezy. Cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, sunny and upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished mixed on Friday. The S&P 500 right near its flat line at the market close. Investors reacting to the latest regarding global trade and tariffs, as well as inflation data, as it was Thursday of last week when the market reacted after President Trump signed a memorandum in terms of potentially imposing tariffs on goods from countries that already have tariffs or duties on U.S. products. So that was Trump's step last week instead of implementing immediate tariffs. Also, fresh data out last week showed consumer prices and wholesale prices are advancing at a faster pace than what the Fed is targeting. Wall Street now awaiting the PCE price index due later this month. That's the Federal Reserve's preferred measuring stick for inflation. And the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield continued to fall Friday, falling nearly 5 basis points to around 4.48%. And in economic data, retail sales fell more than expected in January as consumers cut back on spending. The month-over-month numbers show a 1% decline from December. That was a bigger decline than what economists had forecast. And U.S. business inventories posted their first drop in 9 months. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Support a healthy heart, just like the thousands that are turning to Peak Organic Fermented Beets, the ultimate nitric oxide booster for energy, circulation, and endurance. Just one delicious scoop a day. Supports healthy blood flow, powering your workouts, mental clarity, and heart health. Plus, it's organic, non-GMO, and tastes great. Join their 90-day Peak Beets challenge by visiting peakbeetsradio.com and feel the difference for yourself. Get one free jar, plus an extra $10 listener discount when you get started today. Visit peakbeetsradio.com to learn more. That's peakbeetsradio.com.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And it is closing. Good morning. It is closing in on 8:59. Stay tuned next hour, here about 9:15 or so. We're going to replay our interview we had last week. Ray Baca with Golden Gloves joined us talking about the junior state championships are coming up here at Roswell High in a few weeks, but also the regional championships are going to be in Roswell too in April. So by the time they find that, someone's going to nationals when they leave Roswell here in April. So we're talking all about that with Ray next hour. So we'll play that interview. But if you love some Golden Gloves boxing action, we got some coming up here in March and in April. So that's what we'll be talking about next hour. So talking a little boxing. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Kremlin says Foreign Minister Lavrov is leading a high-level Russian delegation to Saudi Arabia for talks with senior U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Rubio. Among other things, they'll discuss how to end the war in Ukraine. They'll also lay the groundwork for a Trump-Putin meeting. European leaders are in Paris, an emergency meeting focusing on the Trump administration's stance on Ukraine.
French officials are trying to make this emergency summit sound almost routine, an informal opportunity for European leaders to discuss a joint response to America's abrupt and unilateral moves to end the war in Ukraine. The French foreign minister told a radio station here that we must keep our cool and not be intimidated. But there is no hiding the anger and the confusion triggered by Washington's suggestion that it may sideline both Europe and Ukraine to cut a peace deal directly with Russia's President Putin.
The BBC's Andrew Harding. Devastating flooding has claimed at least 9 lives in Kentucky. President Trump has approved the state's request for a federal disaster declaration. And Governor Andy Beshear says a winter storm could add to the misery starting tomorrow and into Wednesday. 1 death in Georgia blamed on the weather. The president's slashing of the federal workforce goes on, and more job cuts are expected to be announced this week.
Efforts to shrink the size of the government payroll reached the Food and Drug Administration over the weekend. Sources say recently hired employees at the FDA who review the safety of food ingredients, medical devices, and other products were fired on Saturday evening. Meanwhile, there are reports that the IRS will lay off thousands of probationary workers as soon as this week. Greg Clugston, Washington.
It's President's Day. That means there will be no mail delivered today. The post office is closed. Most of the banks closed as well, and the stock market has the day off. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You find it. You call Low Cost Airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Congo's government says Rwanda-backed rebels have occupied a second major city in the mineral-rich eastern part of Congo.
Standing before crowds of Bukavu residents, M23 rebel leader Bernard Maeshi Biamungu said they were in the city to restore order after it was abandoned by Congolese forces. The M23 leader has been sanctioned by the UN Security Council for rights abuses, but stood in front of the South Kivu's governor office telling residents they've been living in a jungle. Congo's government vowed to regain control of Bukavu, but there was no sign of soldiers, as many had fled alongside thousands of civilians. The fighting has displaced more than 6 million people in the region, creating the world's largest humanitarian crisis. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Chinese President Xi has met with the country's top business leaders, including Alibaba founder Jack Ma. The Chinese government trying to revive a struggling economy. News and analysis, townhall.com. A military aid initiative is coming under scrutiny.
A new report finds that out of $225 million collected by the United States Army for a food program for soldiers last year, only $74 million actually went towards food. The money is taken from their BAS payments. It's used to cover residence and food costs. The Military.com report found that Fort Stewart, Georgia, obtained $17 million from soldiers, but only spent $2.1 million on food, meaning 87% of food funds were redirected to other projects. The investigation comes amid reported food shortages at Fort Carson, Colorado, where some soldiers say that one dinner consisted of lima beans and toast. Tasha Stevens reporting.
West Texas seeing the largest measles outbreak in almost 30 years. 48 confirmed cases. State health officials say the infected either unvaccinated or vaccination status is not known. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy President's Day. Happy Monday.
Welcome to it.
We didn't even get to talk about our little earthquake on Friday.
Yeah, that was...
that was weird, man.
It was really funny, though, because it was a real, like, where were you moment. I even posted... There's an old joke that Dane Cook has where he's, like, talking about if you, like, witness a car crash, the 30 minutes after is what were you doing when it happened?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was cleaning a dish. What were you doing? Oh, you were walking your dog? I was cleaning a dish. But yeah, that's immediately just jump on social media and see if everybody else felt that.
You feel that? Yeah. Because we all want confirmation. We all felt the same thing.
But it was weird how different it was in different parts of town. Like, Misty was telling me that over in her region of town, over by near the aquatic center, that it was moving her desk and her like water bottle was like moving all over the desk.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, how was it in your
For mine, Kim slept through it, didn't even know what happened. I woke her up. I was sitting in my chair watching TV, and it was like shifty. It was like the whole thing was going like this.
The guy that sings Butterfly?
Kind of like it was sliding this way.
Okay.
It felt like it was doing this. The cat tried to run up the door jamb when it went on. One of the cats did, but everything was kind of this way. It was feeling like, and then that went on. It felt for about 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then after that, there was a little bit of like rumble, like a, and I was like, and that was more of a vibrate. But the first part was it was almost like it was on like one of those slide machines, and it was sliding, and it felt like the chair was just doing this, like someone was taking the chair and just rolling it back and forth.
I don't know what it was about my area or location, or maybe it's that I was up off the ground. I'm not sure, but literally all it felt like, I was watching a movie or some TV show or something, and it felt like when my cat Stefan is like on the other end of the couch, or like between like the middle and end of the cushions of the couch, and then like moves or jumps off the couch, kind of like, that's all it felt like to me. Was just like a little like,
this one went for a minute.
That is crazy.
It was the biggest I felt. Like the second one was the toilet one, which I've talked about.
Right.
When I sat on the toilet, and it was like, whoa, it felt like the shower was moving. And I was like, yeah. But that was kind of like back and forth. This one, it almost felt like I was on like, kind of like you were in a water bed a little bit, where it was a little, it was a little like that. It was a little different.
And both my kids were in bed at the time, and they both said that they felt their bed move.
Yeah.
But I really should pay more attention to natural disasters. But it's funny though, because amidst all that chaos and confusion, I got myself a couple of days ago. I ordered a kind of a kit online, and it came with a survival radio. It's an AM/FM.
Did you bust out for the earthquake?
Weather radio. It's got a hand crank on the side. It's got a solar panel on top, a little flashlight, an SOS beacon, and all this.
Nice.
Problem is, I was kind of looking at it and everything, and I tapped one of the buttons, and I set the alarm off. My daughter is yet to forgive me for it.
Oh, no.
She's terrified of coming into the living room. She every time she walks through the living room, she looks at it.
The emergency radio is now a traumatizing thing.
She does the same thing when she walks through the hallway here, when she stares at the fire alarm, because she hates fire alarms. That's bane of her existence.
Trigger.
So she sees that radio and she's just like, but it got me thinking, I'm like, if there's ever like an emergency situation, I'm going to have to give my daughter a meltdown just to beacon help, just to call for help. Like, this is necessary. I have to do this, and then set the alarm off. But yeah, I really need to pay more attention to natural disasters, because I totally missed it until, I jumped on Facebook and everybody was freaking out.
So you didn't really feel it or anything?
Not hardly at all. Until I started getting texts from people like, did you feel that? Was that an earthquake? I'm like, I felt something, but I didn't know what it was.
It was big. It was a big one. I felt it, and then I woke him up because I had to tell somebody. And so I did. And then Thomas texted me about 10 minutes after that. Did you feel that?
Right.
Thomas doesn't live far from me. So
like closest to each other, so he kind of compare each other. If we've got power, do you got power?
Yeah,
I don't have power. Did you feel that? I feel that. Tom's there always. Every time something like that happens, him and I are usually connecting. And so, yeah, he felt it. And then, of course, we both started, man, it felt like this. You know, where were you when the earth started shaking?
The world was shaking.
Friday night. You know,
and it was felt as far down as Carlsbad because I saw, comments on Facebook.
Well, the epicenter was in Texas there.
Yeah, Pecos, Texas, 5.0 magnitude.
Yeah, I'm sure it has something to do with fracking. I mean, come on. Doesn't take a genius to figure put that math.
Well, of course,
together.
we don't have like tectonic. We're not sitting on plates right now,
right?
Or at least not ones that
I'm
shift.
guessing it's something to do with that.
We don't have a fault line anywhere, I think, near us.
Yeah,
so
it rumbled.
It was fun. I mean, it was. You know what it is when things like that happen? It's just for a moment, a uniting situation where like everybody can come together and be like, "I was there too. Where were you? Where were you? We were in it together."
Too bad you can't predict them, because that way you could do your own like James Bond martini night, shaken not stirred.
Just set up the things. Got a big one coming tonight. We're mixing Vespers.
That's right, James Bond night. So shaken not stirred.
There you go.
That's right. But yeah, I that was weird, man. It was different. Yeah, she slept right.
I know.
And
what a bummer. I feel bad for people who are in like game chairs, like playing like Call of Duty or something.
Chairs.
Yeah, because they didn't feel nothing.
No, they're just like, whoa, did mine go off or whatever game they're playing.
They're just playing a game, and all of a sudden the thing just gets real still.
Yep. No, I was watching TV and just sitting there in my chair.
The most I've ever felt an earthquake was the one that we were here at the office, and it was a couple years ago.
That one I remember.
And it felt like somebody was moving my desk from the wall.
I remember
pushing
I was sitting right here when that went off. Yeah. It was in the afternoon, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, if I remember right. Yeah, we were just sitting because I was like, whoa, yeah, that was a good one. The one Friday was bigger.
I think it was probably more people felt it.
I felt it. I don't know the magnitudes and all that.
Part of me is, I mean, and granted, I'm glad it wasn't a huge deal, especially considering I'm up on cinder blocks. But I'm kind of envious that I didn't get to experience more of it. Like I wasn't part of the group that really suffered through it.
What if you have like what my fear would be? Visiting a place like Carlsbad Caverns when something like that goes down.
Oh my God, dude.
I just put a fear in everybody's head.
No, I literally
I'm never going again.
I brought this scenario up this last weekend.
Yeah.
The whole reason I don't like the idea of going into a cave is because at any time something could happen and it could just go boom.
I know.
And just be done.
Could you just imagine if you had like Carlsbad Caverns when that goes down?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's nightmare
because you're
fuel.
in the earth.
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel right there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just thinking that's not good. We had a kind of.
Yeah, it was a scary experience.
Tell it quick. We got to get this going, but yeah.
Turn your mic on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought your mic was on. I apologize.
We took his brother's family down in the cave, and we toured the whole thing, and we stopped for restroom breaks before we went up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was in a girl's bathroom. The next I hear my sister-in-law coming in. Kim, are you okay? Yeah, why? Because the lights were on in the bathroom. She goes, the lights went out in the cavern. And she goes, I have my phone with me to get us out. And there's a little like cave thing you have to walk through to get to the bathroom and out. And I'm all like, what in the world? Well,
it was pitch black down there.
I can imagine.
There's
no light.
Yeah.
They closed down.
Uh-huh.
The only light was in the room where
they closed like for the day?
Yes.
They
turned the lights out.
They were
the only lights that were on was the little room where the elevators are.
Yeah.
So, but the elevators were functional?
Yeah, they functioned. Yeah, we were able to get out.
But it was pitch dark.
I
was trying to imagine traversing back up that natural entrance.
No. We got to go up the elevator, but we're literally sitting in that big room, and all of a sudden they said, boom, and we're just like, and it's dark. Yeah. They just said, all right, 4:00, time to go.
And I didn't know anything was going on because the bathroom light stayed on along with the
And we weren't the only
elevator.
people down there. There were still other people besides us down there, right? It wasn't like just our family. It was
there wasn't many people.
There were some other people down there.
Right. Do they still have that cafe down there?
Yeah. Yes and no. Like there's a full-on cafe topside.
Topside, okay.
But down below, they have a place where you can get like fruit and like water.
I would say natural stuff. I know because they had a whole thing about the Cheetos bag a while back.
Yeah, I think you can get ice cream down there or something. And they sell a lot of last time we were down there, they were selling those what's those Minions minor hats for the Minions. I don't know if theirs are still.
Yeah, the little cave hats with the lights.
Yeah, the Minion characters.
Yeah,
they were minor.
These spelunking hats.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they left us in the dark down in the caverns.
Yeah,
that
was a little nerve wracking
for sure.
Yep, and I think there was only one elevator, so you had it was kind of. That's the part that sucked when they only had one elevator and you try to leave and you have to wait an hour just to get out of the elevator.
Right.
You know, it's like, man, that's when you start thinking maybe I'm going to walk that switchback.
Nope.
That's the thing.
I'm sorry. There's you can't pay me. That whole time the elevators were down, I'm like, I'm just not going to go because I'm not going to walk back up that thing, that entrance.
Right.
Can we have a cannon that shoots you out the
Yeah,
hole?
exactly. The slingshot, trebuchet, something.
I used to take my second grade class there every year. We would do a bat unit.
Wow.
And then our culminating activity was to go
That's a big field trip.
Yeah. It is.
That's a huge trip.
They barely have to go in it.
It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
Most of our field
it's
trips
like they go down the hole. It's like, look around. All right, kids, back on the bus.
we were under a time crunch,
Yeah.
seriously. And then there's been times where we had to get on the bus and just start serving lunches on the bus.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I'd imagine. Yeah,
Here's
just get them fed.
It's the chicken of the cave. Here you go. Here's lunch, kids.
Dig into the bat wing. But yeah, no, that's a huge field trip. But what made you stop? Budget?
Yeah, COVID, and the gas got really costly.
They collaborated
and going that far, it was too pricey.
Sure, I'd imagine.
And now I don't think our district would approve. It had to be approved by the district.
You was like grandfathered in, and you slept a year, and so now it's
too much.
It's done.
No,
but
it is 9:18.
Indeed.
We're gonna, like I said, play our interview we had with Ray Baca talking Golden Gloves this hour, talking about the state and regional championships that'll be coming to Roswell in March for state and for regionals in April. So we'll talk about that with Ray here in just a few. Before we do that, let's talk about the weather. Ain't gonna lie, some of it's good, a little bit of suck in the middle. So it's kind of like I was going to compare it to something, but I think people like those. We'll be back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mix of sunshine and clouds today and pretty windy ahead of a cold front that's on the way in. Wind gusting at around 30 miles an hour at times, but warm will be in the low to mid 70s. Overnight, mid 30s to mid 40s and a few clouds. We're in the low 60s for the high on Tuesday and a little bit more cloud cover and breezy. Cooling off a little bit on Wednesday, sunny and upper 40s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds currently out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Partly cloudy today. Expect a high near 70. Enjoy that. Yeah, I'll go with partly cloudy. Well, it's mostly cloudy now. I see a little blue out there. But we're looking at a high of 70 today with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight. Overnight low of 35 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, we're going to be cooler, 57. But that's not the coolest we're getting. But partly cloudy, 57 for a high tomorrow. So we will see a drop in those temps here. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night's going to be chilly, mostly clear. Overnight low of 18. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're not getting out of the 40s. Sunny, 45 for a high. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, 13 for an overnight low under partly cloudy skies. Thursday, we're going to get to 40, maybe. Mostly sunny, high of 40. Thursday night, we're looking at 16 for another overnight low under mostly clear skies. Friday, we're getting to 43 for a high under sunny skies. And then weekend, we start to warm back up. Sunny and 61 on Saturday. Sunny and 74 on Sunday. So enjoy today and enjoy the weekend, but kind of in between, not so enjoyable. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9. We're going to take a 4-minute break, then we're going to play our interview with Ray Baca talking Golden Gloves. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At New Mexico Gas Company, we believe there's money hiding in your home. It's true. It's hiding in your insulation, in your water heater, and in your furnace. And New Mexico Gas Company can help you tap into that money with rebates up to $800 for high-efficiency natural gas improvements. Your energy costs will go down, and your wallet will thank you. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and we provide energy efficiency solutions to save you money. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgcgetrebates.com.
So you've got questions about the birds and the bees? What would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben Manette with Roswell Seed Company. If Jim was here, he'd tell you that it's time to order your bees. You'll get a 3-pound box of live bees and a queen, and that's enough to start a hive. As for the birds, we're talking about baby chicks. Not only are they cute as can be, they'll soon be supplying your family with fresh eggs. So come see us at Roswell Seed and find out all about the birds and the bees.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most loved rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hey Roswell, love is in the air, and your friends at Roswell Ford are relationship experts. Really? No, just kidding. But we do have an offer that will take your breath away. Get unprecedented savings during our biggest President's Day sales event ever, this week only at Roswell Ford. Right now, everybody gets friends and family pricing. Save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new Fords with 0 down and 0% APR for 72 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles in prime condition starting at just $10,000. Making payments on your current car, truck, or SUV and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your current lease or loan, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if your credit is less than perfect. Huge savings, more for your trade, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand finance on select in-stock vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new loan, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning talking some Golden Gloves boxing. Ray Baca back with us this morning. Morning, Ray. How you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. Doing well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Anytime, and of course, it's really great because now we're seeing, because we just talked to you a couple months ago with Hall of Fame and
Correct,
all that stuff, and so it's now really getting, like there's always been a great tradition of boxing in New Mexico.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? We've got a great history. We've got some legendary folks over the years that have been a part of Gold, but we're starting to see a surge where we're getting more youth, more people looking to say, hey, this might be a great thing for my child to be a part of. So you guys are growing and getting bigger, it seems like.
Yeah, we are. Like you said, there's a great tradition, especially in Roswell, because the actual state Golden Glove tournament was founded here in Roswell in 1948.
Nice.
And it was here to
1 year after the aliens.
There you go. So now we're in our 78th year. Yeah, 70. I take that back. 77.
Okay.
We're in our 77th.
We don't fudge that year.
Yeah.
All right, I can't answer this phone. I don't want to keep calling me in here, but sorry.
That's quite all right.
Keep going. Go ahead.
But anyway, we're glad. This is our third year back, and March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, Roswell High School. But we've added something to that this year. This year, during the course of the state Golden Glove tournament, we're hosting the state junior Golden Glove tournament at the same time.
Nice. Okay. So it's like kind of this is going to be an over-the-top action-packed, just wherever you turn, there's going to be something going on kind of thing.
And we're adding 2 rings. So like last couple of years, we've had just one ring center stage. But this year, we're thinking now it's going to get more people coming in into our community and more fighters. So we're adding 2 rings. And when it just depends on the number of fighters, but and we're still going to have our live streaming through you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. Like the March here in March, the 21st and 22nd, 23rd there. That's all going to be at Roswell High. Now, yes, you got it in town. We want to pack the gym.
Yes, we do.
Full of when all these matches are going on, they got plenty of people ringside. However, if I get it, you got folks living all over the state or outside of the state, got family. Tell them that they can tune in on our KSVP TV. We'll have a Golden Gloves channel on our website there that they can tune in and watch the boxing that weekend. And, of course, it'll be on demand afterwards, too. So, but we want to make sure we fill the gym up. We want to make sure we're supporting these kids. We want to make sure they've got a full gym of people rooting them on at these boxing matches.
And, we have a lot. Roswell's been very good. It's been very good to Golden Gloves. Our sponsors, different ads, you guys, and so on. And this is, well, where does this money go? One of the, purchase rings.
Yeah.
Equipment, supplies, and then.
I'm going to take insurance is not a cheap thing to have for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, that's very well said. The other
any sport and event's expensive, but I'm just thinking, boxing, they're probably saying, we're gonna charge you a premium for that insurance.
So we have that additional cost is when these guys when they win and they move on. Mm-hmm. We're responsible for getting them to and from, whether it be flying or driving them or whatever the case.
If they get to these, state, regional, and then into national type things, and they got to get all over the country and for some of these matches and things. And we got to get them there. It costs money to put them on planes and to training and lodging and food and all the things that it costs to do these kinds of things.
It's very well said. And and again, we have to take care of all of those things. And at the end of the day, though, is like when you see these young men and young ladies.
Absolutely, that's the other thing too. We're seeing the female side of boxing gaining a lot of popularity now, so that's good.
And we have some actually have quite a few fighters, open class fighters. There's a couple of young ladies out of Albuquerque, and then another couple out of Las Cruces. Some really excellent fighters, and not to mention that we've had a couple of young ladies out of Albuquerque, out of Las Cruces that won nationals here in the last couple of years. So.
I'm just was curious. We're just talking philosophically here. For folks that also don't know, Albuquerque is considered kind of a mecca for MMA fighting. You have a lot of MMA that do training and stuff there. I'm very curious. How does that work or hurt or help Golden Gloves? Is there a lot of, like, does that detract from some of your stuff? Or do you see kids that maybe start in Golden Gloves and then maybe as they get older say, you know what, I'm going to transition to MMA stuff? I mean, how does that help, hurt, or a little bit of neither on that? I'm just curious.
I really don't, and you're right, though. It usually starts when you see these UFC, those guys are professional fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them start, whether they're wrestlers or
sure,
wrestling.
They usually start in one faction or another.
Or boxers. Holly Holm is a perfect example of that.
Mm-hmm.
She transitioned from being a world champion in boxing and became a UFC champion.
Right, yeah.
But I don't think it really hurts us, to be honest with you.
I didn't know if maybe it even helps where they're saying they see MMA, but they're saying, you know what, because here's the thing. We're talking about Golden Gloves boxing. We're talking, we're training these kids to be boxers and things like that. But here's the side of it that doesn't necessarily, show up on the tape here is the mentoring side. And the kids, as much as they're learning boxing skills, they're learning life lessons as part of that. And so I think like when a child sees the MMA stuff and says, that's why I'm thinking, if they're interested in that, starting in something like boxing not only gives them the mindset of how to train for something like that, but also gives you life lessons on, because guess what, boxing, you're going to get knocked down in boxing. That's what happens.
Yeah.
What happens when you get up? That's a lesson that's really hard to teach in a lot of circles, except for in the, pardon the pun, the square ring here.
and you're right. And in boxing, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
That's just part of the game.
That's the game.
You're going to get hit. But the preparation and the mentoring with the coaches, the traveling with your teammates.
Yeah.
Although it's an individual sport, you get to know these guys. You travel with them. You live with them. You go to these tournaments. You're with them. All that time that you're out, and it's you build that camaraderie with these guys. So it's.
Oh yeah.
And I've been on both sides as a coach and as a fighter, and able to the kids themselves, they never forget you.
Well, and here's the thing that I think were you, yourself, and many, because
there's a bunch of us.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of us.
All of our coaches that are out there now that probably in these circles were probably just like yourself. They were young men, young women that were boxing and doing their thing. But it's because for you guys, I imagine because you see and some of these kids come from hard places and life and family homes that aren't ideal per se.
Sure.
And for them to overcome, the deck of cards that were handed to them, and to see them be able to play a hand and win that round, that's a huge victory for you. And to see, because those are the moments that that whatever this young man or young woman does, whether they go on to just be whether it's boxing or cooking or whatever they do in life when they become adults, their stuff they're learning in that ring it's going to serve them well, and that's the beauty of it.
You're better prepared. I really believe that, because it's just you and that other individual across the way.
Yeah.
There's not a guy going to block for you or set a screen for you or hit the ball for you.
Yeah.
It's just you.
It's chest that punches back.
That's very, very true. Yeah. But one other thing I did want to add before I lose my train of thought here, Mike, was that for the first time because we have this thing with it's the Colorado, New Mexico, where we have, the charter is Colorado, New Mexico.
Okay.
So when our state champions, they win, we either go, and in the last few years it's been in Albuquerque.
Okay.
So our state champions, let's say you win in New Mexico, you'd go fight in Denver.
Okay.
And then from Denver, you qualify to go to nationals.
Okay. So they go to Denver for like a regionals type.
So this year it's coming to Roswell.
Okay, so the regionals are here.
The regionals are here.
Okay, so we get the locals and state and regional here this time.
That's correct.
Nice.
And one of the beauty of that I wanted to share is that 3 years ago, the New Mexico Colorado team were the national champions.
Okay.
We were the national champions. So we have good quality fighters.
Gotcha.
This is an opportunity for people out there to come and see the best of Colorado against the best in New Mexico.
So really, whoever comes out of this region, they're going to be, I don't say favorites, but they're going to be really in play for national championship.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct, because there's 30. Right now we're at 32 programs throughout the country.
Gotcha.
And that tournament, last year it was in Detroit. This year goes back to Tulsa, national tournament. But we start on a Monday morning, Monday, and don't end until Saturday. And you got 3 or 4 rings going on at the same time.
A whole week of boxing, pretty much. Man.
And we had that quality of fighters here in the state of New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Not only here in Roswell, Las Cruces, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, throughout the state. Clovis, Carlsbad's program started back up, and they're just it's growing again.
That's great. It's great.
Growing again.
And like you said, for the first time in a long time, we're going to have to set up a second ring for state here because we have so much action that in order to get it in the 3 days we can get it in, we need more rings to do this. So this is a blessing. We're great. And I would say if you're maybe thinking about an opportunity, maybe come out the weekend of March 21 through the 23rd here. Come out to the Roswell High Gym, talk to the boxers, watch the matches. Maybe this is something your child could also find their niche in boxing, because that's again, this is what I love is getting these and boxing is such a unique thing. Sports is I always am a big fan of getting your kids in sports because because there's lessons to be learned in sports that you just can't teach in other platforms. It's just really hard to translate that. And boxing even adds another layer to that because it's a team sport, but it's not a team sport. Like you said, I mean, when it comes to getting a boxer ready, it's a team sport. But the moment they're in that ring, it's two people, one-on-one right there. And so it gives that element of, yes, I have a team and understanding we all got to do our part to make the thing happen, but also puts that individual, it's on me, that onus. I've got to be responsible for these actions. If what I do here, I'm going to face adversity. What happens next? And that's how do I, and you learn those lessons in the boxing ring. And there's some days they're going to fail.
Oh yeah.
And there's some days they're not. But that's the place they learn that lesson. And that's the kind of stuff that really prepares your child for adulthood and life, because life is boxing.
Correct.
1 minute you're standing up, cheering for everything. The next minute someone's got you butt down on the ground, telling putting your mouthpiece back in your mouth. You know what I mean? That's life.
Sure.
and so there's no better tool than that sometimes to get your children prepared for whatever future they choose
like
to
you said, the preparation, all those miles that you put there, you're out running out in the country or at the park or whatever. And that's just all the time and effort that you put into it before you even go to train.
Yeah.
And or after, sitting all these different types of exercises. Swimming is good for boxing. All these different things that you had to put into that before you ever get in the ring.
Well, you don't realize all the muscles you use. It's the same thing with swimming. That's why you said swimming. Yeah. You're literally using every muscle in your body, and swimming and boxing is very similar in that type. So and that's why boxers, you look at all the body types and frames, and you could look and obviously they box by weight class, but you could look at a boxer that looks cut and everything else, and see one that really doesn't matter if the technique is good, if every you know what I mean. You don't have to look like the Adonis to
be a good boxer.
To kick butt in boxing. Yeah, it really is that kind of. It's because it's just about being in shape, But then again, it's also the mind game. It's the the technical stuff, the chess match side of it. When they jab, how do I counter? How can I get a combo in? This is, where's their weak spots? When they do that with tendencies, when they throw their left, they drop their right. That's an opportunity. These are the types of things boxing teaches you, is to see, is what's, observe, see what's going on, study. That's all the stuff these kids are learning when they're in that ring doing that kind of thing. And it all translates to life skills. When they're in a college class trying to write a term paper, they're going to use these same analytical skills to get that job done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so great.
That preparation. It's the preparation. Yeah.
So the week, put these on your calendar, mark it down now for the New Mexico State Junior Golden Gloves Championship. That's going to be March 21st through March 23rd. Again, all matches are going to be at the Roswell High Gym. The winners of that are going to go compete in regionals, which will also be at the Roswell High Gym in April. That'll be the weekend of April 12th, I believe.
Yeah, just a one-day affair. Colorado versus New Mexico.
Very good. But before we get there, we got to do our state championship.
We got to do it. Yeah.
You can get tickets at the door, I believe. Can you get advance tickets
yes.
also?
As a matter of fact, you should be hearing something. We're going to be selling tickets at both Bank of the Southwest on the north end.
Okay.
And on the south end, you can buy your tickets ahead of time. And if you buy them ahead of time, you can get there's a better rate.
Okay.
At the door, it's going to run you like, oh my God, I don't even have that information. Like $15 a day. But if you buy them ahead of time, you can buy for $10.
Okay, cool. And then, of course, veterans, seniors also $10.
Yes.
And then children as well, 6 to 17 are $10, and then 5 and under are free.
That's correct.
So now, for the first bell on Friday, the 21st, will be at 6 p.m., and then Saturday, the first bell will be at 2, and then Sunday, the final day, 1 p.m. For first bell there, too. So So Friday night, you want to get there at 6 for the first fights, and then it'll go all night. And then Saturday, everything will kick off at 2 and go all into the evening there. And then Sunday, we go till we crown some champions.
There you go. And I want to reach out to anybody interested in sponsoring, because it does take quite a bit to get them where they're going. If feel free to call me at 575-910-2222.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Reach out, and Ray's on Facebook and everything too. So
That's
if you
correct.
you can shoot him a message through there, and Ray will get a hold of you. If you'd like, this would be a great opportunity to get a little rub for your shine for your business out there.
And we are a 501c3, so it's a tax deductible.
Absolutely, so you can get save here because this is that time of year you're thinking about paying the tax man anyway. Here, actually, right now you're trying to file to get money. Here next month, are the people have to pay, and April 14th they're at the post office trying to. But anyway. But if you want to sponsor, please reach out. If you're a business that wants to get involved with this, or an organization or individual. Sure. It's a great. It's growing. It's getting more, and I would like to see. It would be awesome if we see like boxing, kind of like where we have like soccer signups. Everyone goes. You know what I mean? And just the whole town comes out and signs up. I think we're getting close to where boxing's getting to that. It's like, hey, come out. We're gonna have our sign up weekend, and next thing you got hundreds of kids throughout the county that are gonna be out there doing it. So.
We're real excited, like you said, and. For a while it slowed down quite a bit.
Sure. I'm sure COVID put a damper in it a little bit. Yeah, like everything else.
Yeah. Through the years, few years back, it was like a dying sport. But all of a sudden now, and you were talking earlier about Albuquerque, but Albuquerque is a mecca for professional boxing.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's probably why MMA kind of grew there, because it already had a strong boxing community, and it kind of morphed or split or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
but like you said, we have some real. We're really excited. Got some real good kids coming from throughout the state, from here in Roswell and throughout the state. It's a really good program.
What's the youngest they start fighting? The youngest
they look
level?
like 6 years old. They actually start. Yeah, you got the peewees. You got the peewees.
Where the gloves are as big as their head.
yeah, that's very true. Peewees.
It's like you just see a ball with a head, 2 balls for gloves, and it just come waddling out.
And it's amazing to see those kids a few years back, and you see them now. Oh my God, that's that same kid.
Oh, I imagine, because they hit that growth spurt. They're like at 6, but then around 12 or 13, they hit some growth spurt, and that kid's like 6 foot already. And you're like, whoa.
And as good as anybody can be.
Yeah. I imagine too, because they probably fluctuate too, because obviously in boxing it's all by weight class, and when they're adults, you're kind of the same weight unless you're trying to lose. But kids are growing still, so they could be like flyweights one minute, and the next year it's like, hey, you're now into the welterweight here. You got to beefed up a little bit. Yeah, you grew a few inches.
So we see a lot of that as well. But you can see them as they're progressing. Because you kind of keep up with these kids as you go to these fights and you sit there and watch. And I'm very fortunate. I get a chance. I get to be where the weigh-ins are. And I get to know these kids and these coaches, and you can see the change, and you can see the coach. You can see the coaching.
Sure.
You know where you stand when where you cut. Like for example, if you're fighting lefty, because they usually go a certain direction. Instead of leading with the jab, you lead with the right hand because they're running right into your right hand.
Yeah, lefty, everything's backwards.
Yeah.
I'm a southpaw. I screw up everything. That's why we're a nightmare in certain sports.
So you have to adjust. So and like we're talking about preparation and things, is that everything that you do, and then you see them, and you see these young men and these young ladies grow into some really great fighters. I had that opportunity since my youth to watch these young men and young ladies, and it's just amazing. And to come out and really see a classy fighter, and they're exceptional. There's that guy or that individual that just excels, and you see him, and it's like a form of art. It truly is.
Well,
watching them do their thing.
You know what? Something that I think that the youth especially, and all of us humans could, and I think boxing is a skill that teaches this. It's how to control your emotions, to know, because we live in a world and people get mad and you're ready to just lash out and things like that. You can't do that in boxing. You know, the moment you mad and lash out, you usually end up on the canvas. You know what I mean? And so you have to train your emotions and channel that. And I think boxing there's not many tools that can teach that discipline to say, I got to keep my emotion in check. Otherwise, because a boxer that's just crazy and angry is going to lose. I mean, they're just going to fly, and they're going to tire themselves out. They're going to probably miss half more than they hit, and one calculated punch, and it's good night, Charlie. You know, and so you have to control that. You just can't go animal style out there and expect to win in boxing. It will bite. You may get away with it once or twice, but it will bite you in the butt after a while. If someone's got skills and has got technique, they will eat your lunch every single day of the week.
That's very well said, Mike.
And I think boxing, and in a world where we get triggered and get, you know what I mean, where everything's just, we go to the mattresses fighting as soon as you're either with me or against me. And, I think in a world, maybe boxing might, there's a lot of degrees between, friend or foe here. And so,
that's very true.
I think boxing is a metaphor on some of that stuff. So please, if you're looking for something to add to your children's, education and experience to get them prepared to be adults, Golden Gloves Boxing could be just the perfect tool to do that. So, and you never know, they may turn out to love boxing and have a love and a passion for the sport like Ray and many others do. And who knows? Maybe college, maybe they go on, and next thing you know, they got the next, Muhammad Ali in the audience here. You never know. But again, mark it on your calendars. March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd is the New Mexico Golden Gloves Junior State Championships here for the state of New Mexico. Those will be 3 days of just boxing, nothing but boxing, at the Roswell High Gym. And you can get your tickets. Will be available at the door, but you'll be able to get advance tickets here. What were the locations again on that, Ray?
Bank of Southwest North and South.
Both either location of Bank of the Southwest here.
And they'll also, there's on one of our posters, there's that tag where you can.
Oh, the QR code deal?
You can buy them online.
Okay, so if if you're older, tell your kid or grandkid, you get on your smartphone and use the QR code.
That's correct.
And they get tickets. Now, advance tickets are only $10 for adults if you get them through Bank of Southwest or Advance. But if you get them at the door or whatever,
it's going to cost you
$15. Of course, veterans, seniors, and children 6 through 17, $10, and then children 5 and under for free. And again, you want to get there early for the best action. But the first night, everything Friday night, but by Sunday afternoon, it's going to be all the championship matches and everything else. And so definitely come on out, and don't forget. Tell your out-of-town friends and family. They'll be able to watch all 3 days of boxing action on our website, ksvptv.com. they'll have their own special Golden Gloves Junior Championship
and that's,
channel there.
And that's that costs like $10 per day. So if let's say you're in Santa Fe, and your grandchild is fighting, $10. You bring your family in and watch them from wherever you're at a very minimal cost.
Yeah, absolutely. So please support this, and but if you can, the best seat in the house will be in the gym.
That's correct.
Get out there and get ringside, and because we got 2 rings, there's 2 ring sides to get to, and it'll be constant boxing action from one to. You might have to pay a little bit of attention since there's 2 rings. You're like, oh, especially if you're rooting for a certain kid or whatever. Like, ooh, I got to pay attention. Which ring are they going to be on again? Maybe get a good spot for that ring.
And the good thing about that Roswell High, it's such a nice facility. You know, you could.
Yeah, if you get topside, you can see both at the same time.
That's
but
correct.
if you want to get like sweat thrown on you, you got to get close. Ray, is there any information we missed? Anything we wanted to get?
No, we want get the community coming out and support these young athletes. Bully Boxing got some really good fighters coming out.
Yeah. And then if you loved what you saw here that weekend, come back April 12th for the regional championships.
And that's the best of the best. New Mexico against Colorado.
That'll be the elite in the region, and then next up is Tulsa, Oklahoma. After that,
that's correct.
Tulsa Kings. Awesome, Ray. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
See
Mike.
you next time,
Pleasure.
and good seeing you again. And,
my pleasure.
And it's great to see that every time you come in, there's more and more good things happening with Golden Gloves. So,
thank you, Mike.
Good stuff. All right, it is 8:48. Let's shut our holes to pay some bills. We're going to pause for news and also your sports update, Red Market update, quick break as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Sovereignty, and they want to make the case that they should stay. Let them do it. If now that they've been exposed for hundreds of billions in reckless, woke, Green New Deal, trans supporting, DEI supporting, abortion supporting, taxpayer dollars going to every country but our country, let them fight on that hill, because they have doubled down on dumb, stupid, and a absolute tragedy.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, you exhausted every day? Maybe you have the 3 p.m. crash or struggling with memory issues, having a hard time focusing. You have to stop and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. I never run out of energy, and I'm fully focused. Strong Cell. It's a revolutionary supplement that has truly changed my life. I use it every single day. It gives you natural energy, helps me stay focused all day long, and just makes me feel better overall. Whether you're a working mom or dad or homeschooling your kids or some of our loyal men and women behind the wheel across the country, try Strong Cell. It'll change your life. Linda uses it as well.
I use it every single day. I have my kids using it, my parents using it, my in-laws using it, my friends using it, and I am telling you, it is immediate. is one of the only ways you can get NADH on the market, and it works.
Go to HannityStrong.com. Use the promo code Hannity. You get a special 20% off any order. Once again, HannityStrong.com. And Strong Cell believes in their products so much, you get a 60-day no-risk policy. Invest in your health. I did it. It changed my life.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Big victories for Roswell and Goddard boys hoops on Friday night as we go into the last week of the regular season. Roswell defeated Carlsbad at home 54-43. They'll be at Clovis Friday night at 7 o'clock to finish off the regular season. They're 4-1 in district play. Meanwhile, Goddard is 2-2 in district play after beating Portales 53-48. Isaiah Mestis with 20 points for the Rockets. Goddard will be playing at Lovington Tuesday night. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Other scores from Friday night, not so well for the Chaves County squads. It was Hagerman losing at Texaco 77-50. Dexter got to play at home, but the Demons lost to Tularosa 68-51, and then Ruidoso knocked off NMMI 49-39 at the Colts home gym. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Asian Market brings the flavors of the East to Roswell. Dine in or carry out. Sample the best Asian cuisine in town, like their stir-fried rice with pork, chicken, beef, or all three. How about their pad thai chicken, sesame chicken, or sweet and sour chicken? Or try their glass noodle or Thai beef salad. Dine in or call ahead and pick up at the Asian Market today. And find Asian Market on Facebook for updates on open times and specials.
Hi, this is Nok. Come see me at Asian Market, 5702 South Main in Roswell. Call
575-840-5309. Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
Each year, FFA chapters around the country celebrate National FFA Week. It's a time to share what the FFA is and the impact it makes on our members every day. FFA helps the next generation rise up to meet world challenges by growing leaders, thinkers, and doers. Join Maine Trailer Sales in recognizing these students during National FFA Week, February 15th through the 22nd. Help ensure FFA continues to thrive in our community. This message brought to you by Maine Trailer Sales, a proud supporter of the FFA. Don't go camping without us.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.